Go ahead.
All right. So, after having gone through a rather violent battle against Elijah Dryflagon and ending in his death, in the midst of this, your monk Tuck fell into a state of unconsciousness where you dragged him to Summit Hall. While there, during the recovery, Tuck, you encountered Member and got into the middle of a feud between Member and Talos, the Stormlord. You sided with Talos, him promising you power as you pursued his will over Member's. You fought a unicorn that was hung like a horse, handily beating it, and Member warned you that your pursuit of power would lead to losing his blessing. Although you have not seen significant visual evidence of that yet. Yet, being the operative word. You spoke to the paladins at Summit Hall regarding the body of Remular, who is the brother of Renwick, the lich you met at the monastery. The paladins were reluctant to share any information regarding the body, as well as to certainly leave it to you in order to return it to the lich. You returned to the monastery and informed the Renwick of these updates, and he was not surprised to hear it, but appreciated the update all the same. While at the monastery, you opted to descend down using this route as another means of descending into the different elemental temples in the dwarven ruins of Balsamir. Upon this descent, you came across a couple of interesting earthen individuals, and basically went up against a significant portion of the front guard and the remaining earthen cultists, leaving one survivor named Yarsha, who admitted that she was kind of only in it for the money, and you let her pass, and she gave you two key means by which to identify yourselves as allies to the earthen cult as a means of easing your way through this portion of the temple. The phrase is, "I serve the Black Earth," and she showed you how to make the earthen symbol with your hands. And then you let her go.
That's an awesome club. They have a secret handshake. The
No,
high
no,
sign. Give them the high
they're
sign.
like the Bloods.
No, they're like the Bloods.
I've never
Yeah,
had a high
Gold
sign
hands for the
before.
Bloods.
It's a
That's where we
legit high
left off.
sign. Ogremock be praised.
Ogremock be praised was the other phrase. Ogremock.
All right, lead the way, someone.
Now, there's a
Are we gonna
hallway
take a
continuing.
rest? Or did we take a rest?
No,
You
we
did not take a rest. There's hallways continuing to your east and to your south, as well as a few doorways, which you saw a couple of the earthen priests kind of wander out from.
I guess we can't take a rest here.
Probably not.
All right, let's pick a direction. We've got the door number 1 with the dwarves, hallway number 2 with the cult knuckleheads, and nothing came from this hallway, I believe.
Let's check out this room over here to our right, and then we can go like south, I guess.
Yeah, that works. All right, I'll do my stealthy.
Well, that door's open, right?
Yeah, right.
The door's creaked open, yeah. Peering inside this room, getting a sort of a glance from top to bottom, you can see that this is an old guard room of sorts. The masonry in here is kind of crumbling. This area is very, very much aged. On the northern end, you see this long gallery, and eventually leads to the arrow slit that you saw earlier. To the south, you see piles of rubble that kind of choke into some sort of small inner chamber you can't make out without getting closer. You can see it sprawled across the floor are at least half a dozen plain bedrolls. In the center of the room is an iron stove. There's a pile of firewood nearby at the room is left off.
All right, I'll head over here and look down the hallway.
As you peer around, you can see that this portion of the room has been relatively unkempt. There are loose bits of masonry just kind of scattered about.
All right, moving on.
Is there anything in that room?
No, just loose bits of masonry and shit.
All right. To the south, I guess.
Yeah, let's try south. Nothing came from down south, so that's either very good or very bad.
Alrighty.
Were they like making another room? Is that what that is?
It looks like it's just it's just a bunch of crumbled masonry there. It looks like whoever the current residents were, presumably the dwarves, just kind of left that area alone, or otherwise didn't, try to set themselves up in that room.
Okay, well, let's go south then.
All right.
An intersection.
The hallway continues to the south. There's a small intersection to the east and to the west.
I'll look east-west.
All right. Peering around the corners, you can see off to the west, the hallway has collapsed, and there doesn't seem to be any way through. To your east, there appears to be a door, and carved along that door is what looks like a frowning dwarven warrior who is clad in plate armor. Where his fists should be are instead big spiky maces.
How about a history check to see if that's anything special? Like, is that
Sure.
someone I might know from
Sure, go
lore
for it.
or something like that?
Go for it. You have no idea.
Oh boy, I rolled 0 or 4.
Tuck, you fall in the group? There you are.
I'll listen at the door.
All right.
Do I get punched in the ear by a spiky mace?
Tempting, but make a perception check.
Hey, slow down there, killer.
It was your suggestion.
That's better.
Okay. So listening at the door, you hear the soft dripping of water. And you hear a faint bubbling as well.
All right, let's get our party to gather up here, and I'm going to do my sneak and peek.
All right.
Minor image.
All right. Make a stealth check with advantage.
I hope it's a bathroom. And you're fucking peeping on him.
Nice. Nice.
All right. So, peering inside this room, it's not a bathroom, but instead you see, centered around the entirety of this chamber, are a number of large stone statues that look just like the scowling dwarven warrior on the door. You can see each of them in their hands. Each of them have spiky maces in place of their hands. The exception, however, is a lot of these statues look like part of them have either been melted or have otherwise been deformed. In the middle of this room, the flagstones that would have made up the masonry stone floor look like they've been torn up out of the middle of the room, and you see there's a flat, well, not really flat, but a natural rock underneath the otherwise flat masonry. On the far east end of the room, you can see there are several work tables and shelves. Peering inside, Dr. Connors, you recognize a number of these shelves are stocked with alchemical reagents and ingredients. They're kind of tucked up in the walls between the statues. And working between all of these, you see a man dressed in a lab coat who has sort of an earthen texture to his skin. It's very, very dark, very, very earthen colored. And he looks like he's in the middle of some sort of experiment.
Don't fuck this up for me, guys. All right. Does he look friendly, or does he look like the people we were just killing?
He doesn't look at all like the people you were killing.
Does he look familiar?
No, you've never met this man.
Let's wait for him to finish his experiment. Let's not disturb him while he's... Does it look like he's trying to be careful?
It looks like he's trying to be deliberate, at the very least. And as you're watching him, you see he actually takes his hand and he utters a quick arcane enchantment. And you watch as some of the watery mud within one of the alchemical bottles begins to just kind of float out of it, shift around, and into another bottle that's got a little bit of a candle underneath it. And it begins to bubble.
I like this. All right, well, like, let's knock, I guess. I guess that's what people do, right? They knock at doors and wait to be let in. We should probably do that. Let's so yeah, close the door and then knock on it. Bardic friend.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Let's do that.
right.
Or just drop the illusion and knock on the door while it's open with me standing in the doorway.
This guy. Okay.
All right. So is that what you're doing?
Yeah.
All right. So you dispel the illusion. You just kind of knock the door wide open, and you hear, "Oh, please, sorry. I'm sorry. Who are you?"
Say the
Kind of-
passphrase.
Yeah. All right. I'll say. We serve the Black Earth.
Yes. Okay. What are you doing in my laboratory?
What are you doing in your laboratory? That looks kind of neat.
He says, "Oh, I'm experimenting with the mud flow of these statues, trying to get them to change and manipulate them.
Oh,
I assume I have
that
not."
seems cool.
He says, "I don't think I've met you before. Pardon me a moment." He returns back to his alchemical work, and he moves the candle away from the burner, from the beaker. He looks like he was manipulating to let the mud kind of settle. And he turns back around to you, bows low, and says, "I am Miraj Vizan, mud sorcerer and alchemist at your service."
Mud sorcerer. So many connotations there. Okay. Will bow and say, "I am Will Ferrell Beethoven. May I present the Diamond Bears, my compatriots?" And I step aside and with a flourish gesture towards my friends who should walk in.
I'll take a bow as well and say, I am Dr. Kirk Connors. I'm also an alchemist. I'm very interested in what you're doing. Please proceed.
He raises his eyebrows and he says, "Oh, tell me, what do you know about the transmutation of minerals from water into air from within while retaining its earthy substance? You see, what I am trying to do, and he goes into this whole ramble about the properties of water
what do I know about
trying
that?
to meshing it with mud. I'll tell you this: just go ahead and make an alchemist flat alchemist check, whatever that check is on your card,
Okay.
and we'll see.
Well, I don't know nothing about all that, sir.
Water and mud is not really part of your normal alchemical experiences. You're more using alchemy. You're more into using alchemy to manipulate biological properties of different individuals rather than just the properties of chemicals itself.
I like exactly what you're saying, and I'll tell him all of those things.
I am picking up what you are putting down.
He looks disappointed in your lack of knowledge of this particular subject, and he says, "Well, my experiment will take some time to finish, but is there anything else I can help you with? Do you need directions somewhere? I don't..."
Oh yes, directions would be great. Where is it again? We're headed just deeper in, right, into the temple. If you have any sort of map that we can have of the temple we're in, that'd be great.
He says, "Well, I don't have a map, but I can perhaps direct you into wherever it is you're trying to get."
Oh hey, guys, what was the name of the leader of this place? I whisper to Will, who probably has it written down somewhere.
The woman Vanifer.
Not the one that we just let go, like the one that has probably the artifact that can summon bombs.
The guy who tricked us? That was
I don't know. I mean, this is Earth, right? We've
Eddie
already
Brock.
Earth cult person. Okay, never mind.
It was Eddie Brock.
No, I'm
As she mentioned the name Eddie Brock, he spits. This tasteful creature.
Oh, I see. See, we've been cut from the same cloth, sir.
Yeah, he's a ball buster.
Why
Yeah.
Mardos continues to work with that creature, I do not know.
Can you tell us how to get to Marvelos? That's the name I couldn't remember.
He says, "I'm afraid Mardos has been slain by some wayward individuals as of late."
Oh, right, that was us. Okay, I forgot. Okay, never mind. Yeah, all right. Well then, never mind. I guess we'll be on our way. We're trying to get to either the fire temple or the water temple, I think, from here, but we're not.
He raises a
exactly
curious
sure how to
eyebrow
get
and he
there.
says, "Why would Yarsha be sending you to one of the temples?"
We have messages for both of them about uniting our peoples under one cause.
Make a deception check.
All right.
Always let the bard tell the lies.
Yeah.
He folds his arms and looks at you with curiosity, and he says,
Oh, I got a 5. Okay. It's not a
"So
critical
what is
fail,
it you're
though.
really trying to do?"
Well, he goes, look, we're not supposed to tell anyone this, Will says. But we're delivering these messages just as a ruse. In truth, it's an intelligence gathering mission to plan for an assault, where we will unify this place under one rule, ours.
That was supposed to be top secret. You can't just go telling everyone that.
I know, but this is a very smart and perceptive individual, and he's obviously sussed it out.
Make a deception check with advantage.
It's all part of my plan.
He chuckles a little bit as you flatter him, and he says, "Well, if you wish to get to the Fane, you will have to travel. You will have to travel straight west from here. The easiest path is back around to the north, and to travel west until you hit the statue, then turn south."
Back north, west to the statue, turn south. Got it. Thanks.
Yeah.
What's the practical application of what you're doing here with these statues?
I'm trying to manipulate their properties to make them more, shall we say, offensive.
Oh, you're trying to animate them.
You're trying
knife
to
hats?
put wee-wees on the statues.
He shakes his head at you, turns back to Dr. Connors, and he says, "I'm trying to manipulate them to become more effective. Unfortunately, most of my experiments have not been super effective. That being said," and he raises his hands, you see a quick burst of arcane magic, and to the south you hear the shifting of stone as one of these grim-faced dwarven warriors begins to suddenly animate, and he steps forward just a little bit off of his pedestal.
I knew it.
And he looks back at you and he smiles.
Would you be willing to depart with one of these just for, a short time? Maybe they can escort us.
Oh, no,
To the
I'm
other-
afraid I cannot do anything of the sort.
Okay, well, it was worth a try. I'm always looking for shortcuts.
We are limited in our guard as we need it. And I'm afraid the more I can do the work here, the better off we can be guarded.
Okay, understandable. Perhaps if you figure it out, you can show us how to do it later. We have a very talented wizard among us, and I'm sure that he would catch on pretty quickly to what you're doing.
Well, I don't know if I'd say I'm super talented.
Well, I wouldn't say that you're a wizard.
You want an interesting bunch and quite amusing, but I'm afraid I have a bit of work to do. So,
Will actually gives a little nod and a bow, like as if he was the performer who was just complimented.
he raises his hands, and you see that similar sort of arcane flash as the stone warrior steps back up on his pedestal and kind of freezes in place again.
All right, well, we
we'll be on
must
our
be
way.
going, but good luck with the statues.
Have a good day.
Fare thee well.
Do you want to check what's down here first before we head?
Oh, yeah, we can.
Yeah, might as well. See what else is down
All right.
here.
All right. As you peer down to the south, you can see at the very, very south, it looks like a portion of the hall, it actually continues on here, a portion of the hallway has been cut in half as some sort of seismic event basically just tore this room in two. And there's a very deep chasm that splits the chamber, leaving a very wide gap between the north and the southern halves. You do see freestanding pillars of rock on the east and on the far east that create sort of natural stepping stones that go across the chasm. It continues beyond the western wall. You can see there's a narrow ledge that hangs on the southern wall of the expanse. You also see there are some stone pillars in here that stand still in the chamber. The ceiling in here raises very high, almost to about 50 feet. It gives you the sense that this is maybe once a great hall. Maybe there was some eating, that was done here, something along those lines. But there seems to be nothing of the sort now. You can see chained against one of these gigantic stone pillars is one of those strange, stony sort of rock frogs that you fought against earlier.
I will approach it cautiously and then use my... Nope, wrong one. I have something that allows me to speak to them and see their intentions and like why they're mad and how I can make them not mad. I have that ability. I'm looking for it.
All right.
But yeah, while that's happening, you can tell me if it's upset and what I can do to make it my friend.
Make a perception check as you try to get closer.
Okay.
'Cause you're unfamiliar with these creatures. Okay. You can see right now that it actually looks like it's just kind of lightly dozing.
There you go. I found it. I have the innate ability to communicate with beasts, and they recognize me as a kindred spirit.
All right.
I can communicate.
So
simple
right now,
languages.
okay. So right now it's kind of napping.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know if we want to wake it up. Do we, friends?
For what purpose?
I don't. Yeah, exactly. Do I feel like it's being hurt by being chained there, or is it all right?
You don't know, not just by looking at it.
Okay. Okay.
I will say with your perception check, you kind of peer a little. You can kind of peer around to where it's chained up, and you can see there's maybe a little bit of a red mark there, which indicates maybe this beast has tried to tear away at its chains before.
Okay. Well, I mean, what do you guys want to do?
I want to check out what's down here.
All right.
Can we see anything more like across the chasm?
Don't
Sure.
get too close. He might make you roll a dexterity check and just have you fall in.
Yeah, my dex kicks ass, so I'm good.
No, but I will have you make a stealth check with disadvantage because you weren't stealthing in the first place.
Oh.
Okay.
It's still pretty good.
But was it good enough?
Yeah.
All right. So you make your way across. At the moment, the frog creature is still snapping, and you can see across the chasm. There's a thin passageway that continues on to the west, and you can also see there are two more sleeping rocky frog creatures also chained to these large stone pillars. There's a passageway that continues on the other end of this chamber to the south and to the west.
What would you guys like to do? We can head west from this place.
Hey, KILLI, how tall is the ceiling?
50 feet.
I have a feeling the longer we fuck around here, the closer the world gets to ending. So
Yeah,
I
but the
don't
completionist in me doesn't care about that.
know. All right. I mean, we can go south. That's fine.
I'll save you.
Good.
I'll save you a little bit of headache. You'll come to the grand conclusion whether you take 5 minutes to get there or 5 days to get there.
Okay, that's fine. Well, then we have all the time in the world. I thought it was time sensitive. Let's go.
KILLI, is the room somewhat well lit?
I'm sorry, you said somewhat well lit?
Is it somewhat well lit?
Well lit.
Yeah.
There are a few sconces along the wall with a few dimly lit torches. You're able to see a little bit, but not a whole lot. You yourself, Kent, are not able to see across the chamber, at least not a whole lot. You're able to make out the bare silhouettes of these two frog-like creatures.
Oh yeah, I definitely warned my friends about them so they don't get hit by them. I don't know.
I'd like to activate my balloon
Bubble
thingy
backpack. Yeah, nice.
and float up to the ceiling and just gently push my way quietly along the ceiling.
Okay. Just move yourself in the direction you'd like to push yourself.
Oh, in the sorry. In the chance that I'm going to be a Harry and Ron here, can I be a Hermione instead and see if this guy is guarding anything? Any trap doors? Anything behind him?
Based on your earlier perception check, there's nothing that you can tell.
All right.
Can I see like at least maybe 20 feet around me?
Yep.
I'm gonna keep moving this way.
Okay.
I'm gonna keep moving this way.
Yeah. The chasm splits off and just descends downward.
Okay.
Could one jump from stone to stone to get across? Is it doable without, without it being crazy?
There's actually as you approach that, there's actually a thin but thin and small stone bridge that kind of connects between these natural passageways.
I assume it's here.
Yes, that goes right across.
We'll just cautiously test it with a foot and then head across.
Okay. You slowly begin to advance. At the moment, nothing. You can cross safely if you wish.
Oh, cool.
We as a group need to figure out a better way to cross these chasms.
As you get to the other end, though, I'd like you.
There's a bridge.
As you get to the other end, Will, I'd like you to make another stealth check.
Yes, being stealthy this time. So you want a normal check or disadvantage?
Regular check. Okay. The other two stone frogs are still napping on this side.
How long are those chains?
The chains themselves, as far as you can tell, they allow these guys to move maybe 5 feet at best.
All right, so as long as I stay here, I'm probably safe, is what you're saying.
Probably not.
You think he could run up to about there and hit you?
So maybe here.
That would probably be far enough.
So that would leave a square buffer, basically.
I dare our bard to
I'm
smack
sorry,
him
I
on the
gave you
ass.
the wrong information. I'm reading this now. The chains keep these creatures within 15 feet of the pillars. So 15 feet is how long the chains are.
Yeah, all right.
Damn it.
So
My bad.
So I can't pass in between here. I don't know how I get over here without.
I don't think you do. Go around the pillar the way that Kent did over here.
It's also floating right up to the top of the ceiling, 50 feet.
Yeah.
I'm dodging pillars.
Let's pick a doorway we want to proceed through first. Do we want to keep going south? Do we want to try the little walkway here?
You hear a voice from above you go, yeah, that sounds like a great idea.
Shut the fuck up! You're being loud. Yeah, I guess I'll try to sneak over to here. Give me that sneak. Where is it? Stealth. There we go. How'd I do, boss?
Let's find out. You hear the stirring of this creature as his eyes begin to open, and he looks at you with a curious glance.
Shh, 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 shh. Be quiet. Go back to sleep. Nothing's wrong here. Here, I'll give you one of these. Oh, didn't go well.
The creature begins to kind of stir and looks at you with a curious and cautious glance.
Ooh, do I have any food in my pack? I don't know. I guess I would have food. Can I toss him like a piece of food?
You have a baby, what do you call it, that you could feed him?
I'm not feeding him my troglodyte.
It depends on what it is you're going to try to feed him.
Oh shit. I guess I have rations. I don't know what's in a ration, but it sounds like that's something I could feed him. Do you like rations, little guy?
So I'll tell you what, those rations can be whatever you want them to be.
Oh, so you're making me pick. Damn it. What do fish eat? Fish food?
Beef jerky.
Yeah, I'm making some beef jerky. How about that?
All right, you toss him some beef jerky. He gobbles it down with his large gullet and turns back around and begins to doze off again.
Good. Awesome. All right, I'm going to cross this bridge then.
All right.
Stealthily cross the bridge, I guess.
All right.
I don't know.
As you make your way to the far end of the bridge, go ahead and make a stealth check for both you and Sebastian.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a little better.
All right, you're good.
Sebastian. That's the dex check, right?
Yep.
Okay. Dex. There you go. Ooh, not supposed to be advantage, but there you go.
We'll count to 25.
Okay.
To your benefit. All right. You make your way across. The other two creatures in this far end of the chamber are still dozing.
Cool.
Tegan will follow. All right. Tegan's not quite as stealthy as the rest of you are, but he manages to get to the other side and duck behind the nearby pillar, and he peeks around. These two creatures are still sleeping.
Okay.
Kent's going to float back to here real fast and say, so what's down there?
You hear Ken say something from 50 feet above you. It's kind of hard to make out because of how quietly he's whispering.
Kent goes, what's down there?
Will try sneaking past and getting down there.
So do you really scream out what's down there?
I was
Yeah, he
thinking
did.
about it, yeah.
Yeah, that happened. Right.
All right. Will, make one more stealth check. Okay. You think you hear one of them stirring behind you. You take a quick glance over your shoulder, and it looks like it just dozes back off again. The passageway to your south looks like it actually continues down a long corridor, and you think you hear water in the distance.
Kent's just going to float and push himself along the wall.
Water. Like how distant?
A few, maybe a football field's distance away.
Oh wow, that's pretty far. All right, well, let's try to sneak over to this one then, over here. So I guess
Okay.
make another stealth check.
I'll save the stealth check from before. If you sneak over there, you're fine.
Okay, how about that way?
All right. There's a chamber that looks like it goes to some sort of hallway heading to both the north and to the south.
Yeah, I'll peek.
All right. As you peer around here, you can see there is a hallway heading both north and south, but the crumbled masonry kind of keeps the crumbled tunnels looks like they've been kind of cut off from whatever their natural places were. On the far west, you see a pair of double doors, and they have in crude common letters 2 things written on it. The northern door reads that. I'm sorry, that's the southern door. The northern door reads this.
Norb's rum kept out Brug.
Brug's rum. Norbs is stupid.
Brug's room.
The voice.
Norb's room. Keep out Brug. Brug's room. Norb's is stupid. That's awesome. All right. Couple of really dumb but strong enough to chisel into stone whatever's behind the door.
It's actually painted onto the
It's painted.
Yep.
Oh, so they have opposable thumbs.
In blood. I mean, what?
I kind of wave everyone over excitedly because this is going to be hilarious.
Kent's just gently floating.
Just from an entertainment standpoint, Will is so into opening the store.
All right, if you're gonna make your way across, I'm gonna need everybody except for Kent to make stealth checks. Kent's high enough above that he can move along just fine. All right. So, a few of you get to about there, and you hear as the 2 frog-like creatures next to you begin to stir. Go ahead and roll initiative.
Oh, you really want us to fight these?
Well, I didn't. You just rolled really shitty stealth rolls.
You're not wrong. Man, what an initiative roll, am I right? Fucking 4.
Winnering today.
All right. Kent, you're 50 feet up, and even in the dim light, you can see these silhouettes kind of stirring.
Ooh. Can I see the silhouette large enough to cast cantrip at one?
Sure.
Kent's going to cast a cantrip at this one using a charge of his thing.
All right.
All right. Hold on. So he's going to cast Firebolt.
All right.
Holy shit.
So, restore 30 hit points to yourself. Whatever that puts you at.
Maxes me back
What?
out.
All right. Because you spent a charge. And the fire, you'll watch as this frog-like creature practically gets incinerated by this powerful firebolt. That was a hard-hitting firebolt.
Yeah, holy shit. That's a cantrip?
That's a cantrip.
Holy cow. I want that.
All right. Dr. Connors, you're up next as these two creatures have stirred and have begun to kind of look very angrily at you.
All right. I guess I'm gonna draw my weapons. Which one did he just hit with the firebolt? The north one or the south one?
This
Northern one.
Okay, cool. I'm going to run at that one then and attack.
All right. You sprint forward, weapons drawn, and you leap at him. Iron Fang does not hit. He moves his leg out of the way as you try to get a sweeping strike and follow through with a stab from fire, and it manages to find a weak point within the natural armor of this creature. As the piercing damage comes in, you hear him shriek out.
Should have stayed asleep. It's my turn.
It's their turn next. This one to the south is going to move right up next to Sebastian. He's going to attempt to bite down on him. Doing so for 22 piercing. The one that you just stabbed is going to take his giant gullet and attempt to bite down hard on you, Dr. Connors. Doing 28 piercing.
Jesus.
Fuck.
And that will be their turn. Will.
Alrighty.
God damn, did you guys all roll single digits initiative?
Right?
We'll move to
Excuse me.
here, where we can get a good look at both of them.
All right, you just saw these two stone creatures bite into Dr. Connors and his pet, and they look really badly injured.
Oof. All right, let's try. Well, that's going to be tough because we're fighting them now. Could have charmed him. I will point to this guy and go, yeah, that guy's rocking. It's a horrible pun, but. And then I will use my. Is it bonus action or a reaction for Healing Word?
Bonus action.
Bonus
I'm
action.
sorry, bonus action to what now?
Healing Word. I can cast that as a bonus action?
That's a bonus action, yes.
I will cast that on Dr. Connor.
Okay.
To level 1. So Vicious Mockery on the Rockfish and a Rock Frog.
Okay. So you hit points back to... I don't remember who you said you were casting it on.
It was me.
All right. All right. All right. I was just making sure it didn't have anything involving hit. It needs to have an intelligence of this. That's all. All right. So...
Just has to be over here.
Yep. Okay. Makes wisdom save.
Oof.
He just rolled really lucky on that. Yep. He manages to
All right, well,
not be affected by your vicious mockery.
it wasn't that good of a joke anyway. 8 points of healing on the good doctor.
All right.
And I'll stay right where I am.
All right. Tuck, you're up.
This round. I'm gonna run up to this guy here. Hit him once.
Miss. Your staff clangs against his hard, rocky shell. The second attack, clang against the hard, rocky shell. All right. You get the fist in. It's like punching stone. You hit the hard part of his armor, and it just kind of reels back, and you're like, ah, ow, ooh.
Using the whole fist there, Doc?
Up to his elbow.
And I'm going to use a key point.
Mm-hmm.
For flurry of blow.
All right. All right. That final attack with your armor strike comes in, and you after frustratingly hitting him 3 times, not finding a weak point, you just kind of uppercut him under the chin and shuriken him. You hear as he kind of rears back his head as that punch connects. You think he spits out a few teeth.
At the same time, I'm going to try and push him back 15 feet. Strength saving throw.
This will be interesting. Okay. So, what's the saving throw? Or what's the DC I'm trying to beat? What's the saving throw? Okay, strength.
Strength, and it is 16, I think. I'll check in a second. I'm just trying to find the page.
Crit fails. Don't worry about it. All right. So, with that final strike, you stroke him up the chin. You watch as he stamps back a few feet, and then he begins to tumble back into the large chasm, and you hear as the chain holding him against this stone pillar and around his neck goes taut, and he is now choking on this thing being hanged.
I'm okay with it.
Tegan is seeing this situation. He's going to spend a 3rd level spell slot and cast Healing Spirit at 3rd level.
Oof.
Casting it, he's actually going to cast it on top of Dr. Connors to start. For an extra 7 hit points back to you. And then all right. And then he is going to shift it around as a bonus action on top of him and on top of Sebastian, landing on Sebastian. So I'll just cast the ability again. All right. And they both get 4 hit points. All right. And as a movement, he's going to back down the hallway a little bit. Sebastian is up next.
Yeah, Sebastian's gonna try and vice grip this bitch.
All right. All right.
Yeah,
9 is not enough. He cannot find a good place to grab. At the same time, the start of Sebastian's turn, he's going to gain an extra 5 hit points.
Oh fuck! I never used his attack on my turn. Oh, whatever. That's fine. Thank you for the hit points.
Alrighty. Alrighty. Kent, you're up.
I would assume I can move like pretty much at like half movement speed. Because I'm pushing myself across the ceiling.
Yeah, let's see what the balloon pack thing actually is.
I think it goes straight up and down.
Levitate spell for 10 minutes.
Levitate spell lets you like move freely. I thought. I guess I don't know the constraints of this magical device.
Can move only by pushing or pulling against a fixed object or surface. You can change targets out to about 20 feet. I'll say this. We'll say you move at half speed for now because it's not really direct. So
that's fine. Well, I kind of figured it would be something along those lines. So with that said, I'm going to move to here.
All right.
And I will cast another firebolt at our other friend here. Not expending a charge of the staff on this one. Actually, you know what? Yeah, expending a charge of the staff anyway.
All right.
It is Master of Puppets.
Okay. The fire connects. You watch as another bolt and ignites this creature as he kind of rears back from the fire, begins to shake a little bit, trying to pat it out.
I'll just hover there.
All right. Dr. Connors, the one to the north that you just attacked, is now basically being hanged on by this chain as it's dripping over the chasm, trying to claw its way back up. The other one to your south has just been hit with this firebolt and is looking at you and Sebastian with a hungry. So looking at Sebastian, especially with a hungry look.
I'm going to walk over to this one and be like, "You shouldn't have woke up," and attack him.
All right. Iron Fang will connect. Fire will not. The pickaxe goes straight into the hard shell, and ting, you hear that clinging sound as the pickaxe finds its way deep into this creature's flesh.
And then Sebastian is also going to attack and attempt to grapple him again. Fuck me!
Not even close.
All right.
He skitters about with just kind of a ready look on his face.
All right.
All right.
I'm ready to get downed. Here we
All
go.
right. With the creature to the north making as much noise as it is, you do hear a squeaking sound. I can't do the noise, but you do hear a squeaking sound off to the chasm to the north, and you peer and you think you see a few bats kind of flitting about there for a little bit. But otherwise, the bullets will go next. The frog creatures will go next, and he is going to reach down. He's going to attempt to bite against Sebastian again, critting. All right. Sebastian goes down and is knocked unconscious. I had to double check to make sure that wasn't an instant death.
Oh, on a crit?
On that crit, yeah. It's not because his max health is high enough. All right. The other one is going to very quickly make a strength check to see if he can pull himself back up. Nope, not enough. All right, Will, you're up next.
Will, I'm going to do the same thing I did before, where this guy here is going to get a tongue lashing. Will's going to go, for a rock, you sure grind your teeth a lot, I guess. And I'm going to cast Healing Word on Sebastian.
All right. This time, this creature seems affected by the vicious mockery, and he garbles something incoherently. Not that he can speak anyway. And he's affected by that spell.
Looks all depressed. Cool.
All right. You get the healing word off on Sebastian, and he stirs back.
Very good. And again, staying right where I am.
Actually, would you even need... Well, not that you wouldn't need the healing word, but if the healing spirit is still on Sebastian, wouldn't it be...
Yep.
It'll heal him when it's his turn.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. That's okay. I have the first level slot to use.
Tuck, this chain is connecting this northern bullet, who is choking on the northern end. He might still be BRB.
He may be.
Give him 2 minutes, and then I'll just take his turn for him.
All right. I bet he's going to attack that thing.
Oh, there you are. Okay, good.
I bet that he's right. I'm going to go right here, and I'm going to smack that thing in the face.
All right.
In the face. God
Miss.
Damn it.
Miss. Clang, clang.
Shit.
Not enough.
Did you break my dice? Last week and this week, both. Okay.
No, you're just used to going against creatures with much less stronger armor.
Constitution saving throw for him because I just tried to do stunning strike.
Okay.
You have to hit him?
No, wait. Nope. That's a lie.
You have to hit him
I have
with
to hit
the
him. Flurry of blows, then. Gonna hit him one more time.
All right. That one connects.
There it is.
All right. You do the same thing that you did against the other creature, shurikening him. Last hit. All right. Are you spending another key point?
I'm going to strength saving throw him. Try and push him back 15 yards.
All right.
Maybe get a few attacks opportunity going here.
All right. I'm going to assume he beats your DC.
Son of a bitch. He matches my DC.
All right. Then he beats it. He
Dirty
puts his
bastard.
claws into the masonry. Bits of masonry begin to dig up as you try to push him back, but he holds strong and he just looks at you.
Can eat my dick. Fuck.
Raising his hand, Tegan, his eyes are going to glow gold as he shoots 2 eldritch blasts in this creature's direction. Doing a tiny little bit of damage. That's his turn. Sebastian will gain an additional 3 hit points at the start of his turn.
What? And then he grapples him. Oh, that's very exciting. I'm very excited by this.
He gets his gigantic claw around one of this creature's smaller legs, and he manages to bind it within the claw.
Not that he wasn't already like sort of grappled by the chain, but damn, I've got a hold of him.
All right, Kent, you're up.
Kent is going to cast Firebolt.
All right.
Not with a charge.
All right. Firebolt connects. You've got hot dice tonight.
Holy shit! Yeah.
He burns away a portion of this creature's natural stony armor as it begins to practically melt under the heat of his spell. Dr. Connors, you are up next.
Gonna try to strike this creature again with my 2 weapons. Wow.
It has no effect whatsoever. You follow through with both weapons, and he just manages to dodge out of the way just before your strike manages to land in.
Sebastian will use his open claw and attempt to bash him on the head.
Nothing. He's much bigger, and Sebastian's not able to get a second smaller claw and really get him. He's not quite able to reach it.
All right.
The northern one.
Ooh.
You see him cough as he takes a little bit more damage from the choking, but he manages to claw his way back out from the pit. The southernmost one is going to attempt to bite into Sebastian.
At disadvantage.
Yes, he does. But he rolls 2 21s.
Okay.
That's a hell of a disadvantage. Oh, God.
All right. Sebastian goes down again. And he is no longer grappled. All right. Well, you're up.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Wow. Okay. We'll move forward a little bit to get a better line of sight on this guy. And before he can get back into the fight, will turn his way and strum power chord on his lute. Casting Shatter at him.
Okay. That's on the northern one, you said?
Yes.
All right. Oops, did have disadvantage. We're going to count the
I'll take
21, however.
Yeah.
All right. So, the shattering will cause him to kind of shake a little bit in place. He
Still takes half damage, yeah?
Yep, still takes half damage.
All right. And since I have more movement, I'll just move here.
All right. Tuck, you're up. Can you hit something?
Not funny.
What a taunt. What a taunt.
Funny.
Dick. Hang on.
I'm not the one who asked if you can hit something.
Mm. 1.
Miss. Clang.
2. Holy shit.
Sebastian ducks before you knock it off.
There you go.
All right. Frustrated. Okay. So, frustrated and angry, you take your fist as you try to punch, and as you get that punch in, you feel an extra surge of energy, and almost in slow motion, as you angrily punch, you feel this shocking blast emanate from the strike of your fingertips, as you see small bolts of lightning emanating from your fingertips under this creature. So on top of the 11 points of bludgeoning damage, I would like you to go ahead and roll an additional 1d10 lightning.
1d10.
That's cool.
1d10.
All right. The shocking manages to startle this creature who doesn't expect that blow to come in, and he reels back a little bit, kind of in surprise. So, you have access to this feat, which you just now discovered. Every time you critically hit with an unarmed strike, it does an additional 1d10 lightning damage, and you can make an additional unarmed strike immediately as a free action.
Aha.
This effect can keep stacking, so long as you keep critting, you can keep
You
striking.
can keep striking.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
By the way, he just turned you into a fire mage, bitch.
The exception to this rule is you have to use your fists, not your dick.
I know.
Yeah, because that'll hurt.
All right.
Lightning.
So you get in that hard strike.
That's a dream right there.
So you get in that hard strike, and you follow through with another quick punch as you feel that surge of energy begin to wash underneath you, and you come through with another hard-hitting crack, and this creature looks like it's ready to reel and just keel over, but he hangs on by a thread.
I'm done.
Okay. Tegan, using a bonus action, is going to shift the healing spirit to Dr. Connors and then back down to Sebastian.
What a hero.
All right, you get 1 hit point. Your crab gets 5. And your crab's back on his feet again. Tegan's then going to shift 5, 20, 25 around this stone pillar to the south and fire off another Eldritch Blast against the very damaged-looking creature. Oh, okay. So the first hit he fires in at that creature is actually going to be enough that you watch as this blinding radiant energy shoots from the first beam, and it actually causes this creature to kind of keel over and collapse. He ducks around and to watch as this happen, and then he fires off the second beam, and you watch as this huge burst of light emanates from his fingertips, and it practically envelops the other creature to the north. And he reels back a little bit, but hangs steady. It looks like he's about ready to collapse now, too. Sebastian is up next. And at the start of his turn, he'll gain an additional 4 hit points.
Sebastian, never knowing when to quit, the little guy. He's going to, like, waddle over here and attack.
He's got a big heart, he does. All right. So he waddles haphazardly, kind of stumbling a little bit from the hard-hitting damage. He looks at this guy who's kind of breathing heavily and peers down at this creature with an angry look. And you watch as Sebastian just kind of takes his giant claw and pushes him, bonks him on the nose hard, and that causes him to reel back again. And you watch as he reels back into the chamber in the back. The chain, as he goes back down into it, snaps this time, and you just hear this gurgling death as he drops down into the deep chasm below, and you're out of combat.
Awesome.
Kent is going to lower himself back down to the ground. All right.
Tuck. Tegan's gonna real quickly use his healing spirit to keep it on Dr. Connors for 2 charges and Sebastian for 5 charges. For an additional 9 hit points back to Dr. Connors.
And Will says, so anyway, you gotta check out this cool door. This is gonna be hilarious.
19 hit points to Sebastian.
Kent says to Tuck, how you like those diminishing returns on those on that on that spell?
Sure.
All right.
Better sleep with one eye open.
Gripping your pillow tight.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the funny thing is, I don't need to. Because you can't sneak attack me.
Oh no, this wasn't going to be
Sneak
a
attack.
snuck. This was going to be blatant.
You'll see it coming, trust me.
You will feel it
Okay.
coming. No, that's it.
Oh, Jesus.
All right.
Do we want to try to take a long rest, or
So
do we think
It should be soon because I'm running low on everything.
I mean, do we think we'll?
Kent's just gonna walk up and was that written in common, real fast?
It's written in very crude common, but yes, it's written in common.
Kent says, "Yo, there's rum behind here."
Room, actually. You have to read it like a stupid person.
You don't know that.
I wouldn't say it too
Well, I speak stupid.
Well, okay, you know that.
I speak fluent stupid.
It's up to you guys what you want to do here. I'm good with whatever.
We could try taking a rest. God knows we need it.
Yeah.
Before
What's
we
this little cubby hole in the bottom here? We may be able to sneak there and throw your hut
right?
up. So I don't think there's any doors down there.
Well, it's a
No,
hallway
it's-
that goes to somewhere
It's a long
else.
hallway.
The
You can't
football
quite,
field length hallway.
about at least 100 feet, and you can't quite make out what's on the far end, but you do hear the sound of water in the distance.
Oh, it looked like it ended there for some reason, but maybe not.
Well, it
Maybe
does.
just hide in the corner here, then behind the pillar.
Okay, it ends to it goes to a different map.
Well, if you guys want to try to rest here, I'm fine with that.
Yes, Will votes for taking a long rest.
Let's try for a long and hope for a short.
Yeah, right. At least we'll get the short, if not the long.
Right.
All right. So
We have to do watches. So let Will take first watch.
All right.
I won't be in here. I'll be kind of in the shadow in the corner, leaning up against the wall, facing this way.
Okay.
Working on the lyrics to a new epic.
Okay.
Based
Let me
on
ask you
this
this.
adventure.
Okay. Let me ask you this: are you putting up a Lehman's tiny hut, or are you just kind of resting in this hallway?
I was going to put up a Leoman's tiny hut, but I wasn't going to do it in the open hallway. I was going to put it up right over here. I don't know. Tegan's got something he can use too, but I don't know what that is.
I don't know what it is either.
It's some druid shit.
It's the is it this?
Yes.
No, it's this.
Yeah, that's it.
Shadowy power of the gloaming court to help guard the respite. At the start of the rest, you touch a point in space, an invisible 30-foot radius sphere of magic appears. Total cover blocks the sphere, while within, you and your allies gain a +5 bonus to Dex, Stealth, and Wisdom. Reception checks and any light from open flames in the sphere isn't visible outside of it. Okay. All right, sure, he'll put that up.
Okay. So, I guess we rest.
All right.
Before we rest, I'm gonna cast, hold on, let me just see what I have here left. I'm gonna cast, one, mage armor into the ring.
All right. Okay. So, over the course of this long rest, Kent, during the course of your watch, there are two things that you notice. First off, to the north, as you're kind of peering about within this hearth within your hut, you do hear that same sort of squeaking sound, and you see a few bats kind of begin to nestle within the northern part just above this chasm, and you stare at them for a moment, and they look like they're just kind of looking about, kind of haphazardly. They don't seem like they notice you or anything else that's going on, for the most part. And if you want, I'll allow you to make a perception check if you really want to get a better look at some of these bats, or otherwise they're just kind of sitting there.
Can I even see the bats from here?
A little bit, but not by much. Enough that you can make them out.
Oh, fine. I'll roll perception.
Or you just see it's kind of hard to make out in the darkness, but it looks like these bats are just kind of looking about haphazardly. You're not familiar enough with dungeons to know anything else about this. The other thing that happens over the course of your long rest is you hear a message in your head, and you hear the voice of your old master say, "I say you've done a well job cleaning up house, and I sense you have accumulated quite a bit of power. I have set up shop within the old air temple. Come find me if you wish for more answers."
Okay. Noted.
Otherwise, the rest goes by unimpeded.
Okay.
So, regain all your shit.
Very good. Jolly good.
Quite. Oh, one more thing. I will say during one of your other guys' rests, you do hear a quiet commotion as a few individuals make their way from the small northern end and see this one bullet dead, or was this one creature dead, and the other one completely disappeared. And they go, "Ah, damn it. They got free. Guess we'll have to capture some new ones." And they kind of have to turn around and walk away.
Okay.
And they gave him one.
With some stupid people.
Do what?
The door on the left there.
The door on the left stays closed, as far as you know.
Not for long. Will's going to listen.
You hear... Well, make a perception check. You can't hear what's being said, but you do hear a couple of deep voices talking back and forth. It sounds like they're arguing.
If it's an Etten, I'm going to love you. All right. Are we all ready? I'll do the sneak and peek.
Make a stealth check with advantage.
All right.
All right. Get ready to love me, because indeed, it is an Etten.
Oh, it's awesome.
All right. Inside this room.
Not to metagame, but I really don't know what an Etten is. I don't think.
Well, inside this room, you see there's crumbling masonry. There is huge uncured pelts, you think probably used for sleeping, and heaps of picked over bones and refuse that fill this entire chamber. It stinks. It looks like it used to be a kitchen or a bakery, and you can see in the center of this chamber are these huge, ancient-looking brick ovens, but it looks like they've been kind of dilapidated. There's some masonry that's kind of crumbling in. They are in dire need of repair. In the center of this room, you see this large two-headed creature, kind of looks like an ogre, but it has two heads, and one of them, it says to the other, it looks like they have a jar of some sort of liquid in their hand, and they say, "This mine. Oh, it's mine. It belonged to Brooke, stupid. I said dibs." And it looks like they're arguing over who gets to drink this cup of brew.
Man, oh man, what would happen if we just turned around and left?
You can also see, because I didn't reveal it earlier, there's a passage leading to the north, but the back door is closed.
Yeah, no, we'll drop the illusion and step in, firmly planting his hands on his hips, looking sternly and go, "Norb, Brug, stop fighting over that drink."
They look at you and they say, "It's our drink. No, it's my drink. It's not yours. Who you be?"
Will holds up his hand and goes, "I serve the Black Earth. Orgrimmar be praised.
Brug, who you assume Brug, the left head says, "It's our room! Yeah, you stay out! It's my room! It's my room, stupid!"
I want not your room, I want your obedience. The master commands. I deliver a message. You are to help us with the task. Come. Will walks out.
This creature forgets the rum in its fit, and it begins to charge towards the door.
Oh, charging. So it's not buying it when I'm selling.
Not at all.
Oh, boy.
It has in one hand a battle axe, and in the other hand a morning star, and it begins to charge towards the door.
I assume we're rolling initiative?
Yes, indeed.
Ugh. Oh, thank God.
It was his room, and you weren't supposed to be in there.
All right, so I guess I'll stay here since that's where I started.
All right.
1, 2, 3,
Yep.
5, 6. Since I go first, Will's. I assume this thing is huge, right?
Oh yeah, pretty
Like
big.
giant sized.
Yes.
Yes. Will's going to. I see. Oh, I see. Okay. Hold on. Give me 1 second. I got to play around with my map here.
All right.
One moment.
Ooh, I forgot I bought a Snickers bar.
Hungry?
Candy. Literally. Oh, shit.
Will's going to take a full move. not a dash action, just a full move.
Mm-hmm.
Going, he's angry, he's angry, he's angry, he's angry. Can I still see him?
Yeah.
Kent's gonna go, what? What's going on?
It'll say, which one of you is dumb and which one of you is dumber? Can't
You
imagine
hear them
their
stop
wisdom
about
is-
mid-charge as they're getting ready, and you listen as one head says to the other, "He call you dumb. He call you dumb, stupid."
No, not dumb and stupid. Dumb and dumber, Will says.
And they look just enraged again. All right. Dr. Connors, you're up next.
That was worth a shot. That could have been
I'll,
fun. I was gonna have him tell him his task was at the bottom of the cavern of the chasm.
I'm gonna put Hunter's Mark on, which did not cast. There it is.
Alrighty.
And use a charge of my bow.
Alrighty.
I have to set up. There we go. Hey.
Alrighty.
Did it hit?
Readying the charges of the bow, that first attack will land.
Cool.
All right. You fire the bow, and you watch as this large lion begins to formulate from this from the shot, and you hear this large creature cry out, "Bad kitty!" And he begins to kind of he is frightened.
This is by far my favorite NPC of the whole thing.
All right. All right, you done?
Yes, sorry.
Okay. Tegan is going to appear just around the corner there, and he says, "You hate kitties, huh?"
God damn it.
And 2 tigers, which he will spawn to cover. Stay still, damn it. All right. He will spawn as far in there as he can get to kind of cover both the exits and move in there.
There's an exit to the south.
He has to go around whatever these big things are.
Yeah, to kind of
Oh.
flank him from both the stone ovens.
I got you.
All right, and he will just duck back around the corner. And this guy is frightened, which means he cannot willingly move close to Dr. Connors. So he's going to look at the kitties next to him, and he goes, "Get this one! No, get this one!" And he kind of makes a snap decision, whirling very, very quickly off to the north and slamming both a battle axe and a morning star into the northern kitty. The first attack, thanks to the vicious mockery, will have disadvantage. However, a 16, I believe, will still land on that particular creature, hitting it hard. The second attack, this time with the mace, the morning star, will also connect. And you watch as this creature looks like it's getting ready to just kind of fade already. Tuck, you're up next.
Let us measure. Oh, screw it. I'm just going to run up to him.
All right.
And I'm going to hit him.
Make an athletics check as you climb over the loose masonry of the brick ovens. You get to about here and you fall prone. As you slip on some of the loose masonry that makes up these ovens, and your face goes right into a pile of long ancient ash.
As I get up. Is that my action?
That's your movement.
Okay, so it's still my movement. How far did I move? So I lost 5 feet for having to get back up.
Technically, it's supposed to be half your movement to get back up.
Half my movement to get back up.
Yep, you're still prone in that ash.
And I'm still prone. I will. Hang on, you're gonna find it. Oh, that's where to go. There it is. We use one key point to do step of the wind and get dash, so I can get up again and get next.
All right. Easily enough done.
Okay. 1, 2.
All right. So both attacks will land. This is not a particularly well-guarded creature. Certainly not as much natural armor on him as the others. However, he does look like he's able to take quite a bit of a beating. You get both swings against his legs. He goes, "Oh, what not nice!"
And since I hit him, I'm using one more key for stunning strike. Constitution saving throw.
All right.
It's going to be actually I'm betting that thing has a high modifier.
Fail.
Actually, he has advantage against it, so.
Fail.
Still fails. All right. So you manage to get one hard hit on with that second staff, and he kind of reels back and goes, "Oh!" And he is stunned. Kent, you're up next.
Okay. Hold on. I'm sorry. I was looking at one thing. Let's see. 30 feet.
One more thing before I forget. He's going to make a wisdom save at the end of his turn. He's going to break the fear.
Well, I can only kind of get inside the door, but I don't want to block Dr. Connors. If I get to here, Can I see the big ogre? Or
I'm going to say yes.
then we will expend 1 firebolt.
Alrighty.
Holy shit.
The hot hands strike again. You watch as a significant portion of him gets incinerated, and he goes, "It's your fault, Rogue. It's your fault, noob." Sebastian is up next.
Sebastian will make his way to here. Just in case this tiger gets slain. And that'll be it.
Alright. The tigers will go next. The one to the south is going to lean against some of the loose masonry, trying to see if it can steady itself a little bit better. It does not hit falls prone. The other one is going to stay where it is, and he's going to claw against this large creature. Critting. Whoops. Alright. He claws deep. You hear as bits of droplets of blood begin to form around his legs as they've been kind of beaten hard against. Will, you're up next.
Okay. Will is going to move to here to get a better line of sight. And that glass of rum, is it still like over here on one of these stoves or whatever?
It's actually spilled out into one of the nearby pelts, and it's just kind of dripping out to this dirty pelt now. They've completely forgotten.
The first thing I want to do is cast that.
All right.
Before I describe the illusion, might as well see if it takes. What I'm basically going to do is have the glass pick itself up and start to grow into the largest, like a 10-foot cube size, I believe is what I can make it, or something like that. With dangerous edges to it and an angry face in the glass made up of the spilled rum that says, "No, you are mine," and it rips off its own handle and is going to wield it like a club to attack.
All right. What's your DC?
16.
All right. They fail the check. Within their mind's eye, you create this image of the mug who's suddenly becoming sentient, ripping off its handle and charging after them.
God damn it.
So I'll go ahead and say we can do ahead and do that for 1d6 psychic damage.
Okay. Here, I'll
go ahead and roll that.
Nice.
All right. This large, stupid creature imagines the cup coming to life, the cup of rum, as it begins slashing at its toes.
It's a giant cup of rum now. I
Giant
can make it pretty big. I can make it.
All right.
No larger than so it's the size of a 10-foot cube.
Yep. All right. Make it about its size. Make it this giant cup. This giant cup of rum rips off its handle and begins using it as a weapon against this creature.
I'm going to drink your insides.
Dr. Connors, you're up next.
I'm gonna use another charge of my bow.
Will leans over to Dr. Connors and goes, "I wish you could see this."
Oh.
13 is actually enough to hit.
Oh, nice. 2. Snake.
All right, don't forget your hunter's mark.
Oh, yes, thank you.
All right. The snake grapples around. For what it's worth, you get advantage on the attack because he's also stunned. So if you want to see if you crit.
Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah.
Okay. Because it's advantage, we'll actually count the 3. So whatever the 3 is.
Oh, okay. Bear.
All right. He is knocked back 5 feet, but he's just knocked back into one of the nearby stones and doesn't move anywhere. So he takes the 13 points of damage as the spirit of the bear kind of pushes hard against him, and he reels back a little bit.
Nice.
Tegan, seeing a good opportunity, is going to go ahead and wander into the room himself, and he's just going to fire Eldritch Blast against this creature. Hitting both times. All right. He is stunned and can't do anything. Tuck, you're up next.
Going to them.
All right, 20 will land.
Oh, I have advantage, don't I?
Yep. All right. Yep. 24 will land too. All right. All right. All 3 attacks will land. This creature looks like he's already on his last legs. He's reeling back, and he's like, "See you in hell, Norb. You die in hell, rogue."
I'm going to move away since they're still stunned.
Okay. At the end of your turn, he's no longer stunned. Kent, you're up next.
Okay. No longer stunned?
No longer stunned.
Okay.
But he looks very badly injured.
We're going to do another firebolt.
All right. How do you want to do this?
Oh. Legacy. We will pretend that the firebolt courses through my fingers and fires out into the Norb's head and hits Brug, comes out the other side.
All right. You shoot the this fiery energy as it singes through your fingertips and fires out from your hands like a spear right through this creature's 4 ears. It passes right through the head, and you watch as for a sudden stunned instant he reels back over and he goes, "Oh, you no take rum." And he crashes with a shuddering, crash along the floor, and you're out of combat.
Will runs up. That was so fun.
Tegan will let these tigers go back home.
Yeah, let's search the room up.
All right. Searching under the not rusty, but filthy pelts that this creature was sleeping on, Tuck, you find a small pile of treasure containing 2,900 copper,
Wow.
130 electrum, as well as a statuette that appears to be made out of ivory. It is the figure of an elephant, an ivory statuette elephant that's worth, think about 80 gold pieces. And finally, you see there's a pair of golden bracelets that the pair itself is worth probably about 30 gold.
Do they look magical at all?
Make an Arcana check.
Sure.
That ivory elephant
You
statuette
have no idea.
might be something along the lines of the. We had something like that at one point. The onyx.
Yeah, the onyx statue. I'm carrying.
Statuette. That the onyx cat figurine that Tuck has.
Yes, of the sickly cat.
You still
Of
haven't
the
summoned
sickly
that cat yet, by the way.
What's that?
You said you still haven't summoned that cat, by the way.
No, I haven't. I
Nope.
should.
Yeah, he's got that and the electric boomerang.
Oh yeah.
We've got some really neat items. I'm still waiting for the right time to use that immovable rod. That's like one of my favorite items. There's so many good, fun ways to use that.
Kent will ask to look at the items, and he will see if he can discern if there's anything magical about them.
Go make an Arcana check. You don't detect any traces of arcane energy floating off of them, but you do recognize or have enough familiarity with arcane energy to know that the gold bracelets are very susceptible to enchantments. So if you wanted to enchant the bracelets to give them some sort of benefit, it'd be very easy to do so.
Gotcha.
You get the sense that maybe they were enchanted, but the original enchantment must have worn off.
Oh, and Kent leans over to Will and says, "By the way, I told you it was rum."
Got him.
All right. Well,
That was fun.
shall we continue forward?
Yeah, Will, come listen to the door. William. You're muted.
Yes, you're muted in Discord pane.
Sorry, I was just logging the treasure. Hold on, guys, 1 second.
Okay.
Guys, I'm sorry. I got to AFK for a minute or two. My daughter needs me. Hold on.
No problem.
No issues. I'll listen at the door.
All right. Make a perception check. You hear the faint squeaking of what you assume to be bats.
All right. I enter.
All right. You see a hallway continuing up to the north. There is a passage leading to both the east and the west.
I'll look to the east first to make sure it connects to where we've already seen.
All right. Peering around the western passage and the eastern passage, I'll give you those both. So the eastern passage does look like it connects. It also looks like that small ledge on the western end there looks like it curves up to the north somewhere. On the west of the intersection that you're at now, it continues on to some other room.
Does it feel like there's anyone within 60 feet inside that room?
Link that ability for me.
It's okay. I don't know if I can link it. It's under the item for Iron Fang.
Oh, it is. Okay, let me pull up Iron Fang then.
It's okay. It's you have tremor sense out to a range of 60 feet. So if they're touching the same ground as me.
Okay. Yeah, you don't sense anybody.
Okay. I bet they're up in the sky because they're bats. Fuck. All right. I guess I'll try to sneak up here and see what I can see. And I did say sneak, so do I need the stealth?
Go ahead and make a stealth check, sure. All right. Peering into the chamber beyond, you can see a few things.
Sorry about that.
It's all right.
I had to.
I'll just review that stuff. Okay.
Little plunger work I had to do there.
Okay.
That's always fun.
Okay,
my daughter's a little too genteel for that. So.
Oh.
All right. So what are we up to here?
All right. So peering around the western end of the corridor, you can see beyond. In the center of this chamber, there is water that fills a rectangular basin made out of marble. And the walls along this marble basin display an ancient frieze. The frieze depicts woodland images of deer, bears, some ducks, geese, hunting fowl, and you also see embedded along the frieze are images of dwarven hunters. You can see that the southeast corner of the room is badly damaged, and the walls there are a little more than rubble.
Ken's going to suggest something real fast.
One more thing, as you listen in, you do look up and onto the ceiling, which in this room is only about 15 feet above you. You do see a number of bats. It looks like most of them are sleeping, though.
All right, well, I'm going to get a picture. I'm going to get a better look at those hunters. Where are they at? What wall?
They are embedded in the frieze that makes up the marble basin.
Oh, this thing. Okay. All right. Well, as soon as the rest of my party wants to come up here with me so I don't die.
Well, before you go up there, Kent's going to suggest something real fast. Kent's going to say, guys, why are we sneaking? We know we know the command word, or we know the password, and we seem to be sneaking around everything.
Yeah, that's true. We're silly. All right.
Yeah, well, that last guy didn't seem to care about the code.
He really liked our password.
Yeah. That last guy seemed like he was a little dim-witted.
The password is "you're deaf." Okay, I'm looking at these. Do I see anything?
What is it that you're intending to look at?
I don't know. They're hunters. I'm a ranger.
Okay, make a perception check.
Sure.
Make a perception check.
What is it you're trying to see? I don't know.
So Looking at the frieze itself, you do look and you see that bits of the masonry that make up the frieze looks like it's been either covered over with a bit of paint, and you can see there in a few areas some symbology that has been painted over the original frieze, although it doesn't look like a whole lot of work has been done to it. It's been mostly ignored. You can also see there, at the very, very bottom of this water, appears to be some sort of piping that you guess connects it to somewhere else within the temple.
Okay.
Looking at the water itself, you're familiar enough with survival instincts to know that the water is probably safe to drink.
All right. I'll take a handful and up to my mouth. Give it a little taste. Why not?
It is refreshing. It tastes like fresh spring water.
Nice. I'll let the group know.
Okay. Ken's just gonna walk up to here.
All right. As you're peering about the room, I would like you all to go ahead and make one more perception check for me.
Double 24s in a row. Damn. I'm perceiving everything tonight.
All right.
Oops, sorry.
What counts at 26? All right. Kent, you don't notice anything out of the ordinary of this room. The rest of you, Dr. Connors, while still looking about the room, you look up again at those bats, and you do realize there is a handful of them that are just kind of looking at all of you. The rest of them are asleep, but there is a handful of them just kind of looking at you. Tuck and Will, you hear what sounds like some muffled cries coming from the south.
Can you describe the cries?
Muffled.
Muffled.
Um,
Oh, you mean
Take
you
a
mean
look
from like
down
down
the
here?
south
I'm
passage.
gonna go down here to see this.
Oh, from here, from the wrecked area, or from
No,
this?
from here.
Oh, all right. We'll seeing the door. We'll go and listen at the door.
All right. With your earlier perception check, it sounds like someone's being hurt. And you hear a voice muttered say, "You were with the cultists when Unreal was slain. You saw what happened. Tell me what you know." I didn't see anything.
All right. Will's going to quietly wave everyone up.
This is where we've just walked in the tall grass. We're about
Yeah,
to get attacked by
and
Pokemon.
tell them, I'm not going to bother with the sneak and peek. We should just gear up and get ready to blow in there and
Let's burst in.
do our thing.
Yeah, I'm down.
Cool.
All right. If one of you kicks down the door, Sebastian will roll in. Or if you at least open it, his claws are not very good for opening doors.
I'll open the door.
All right.
Right. Are you bashing in, or are you just kind of opening the door?
Screw it. I'll bash in the door.
All right. So go ahead and start by making initiative checks for me. Initiative rolls, even. Whoops. And all right. So because you bashed in the door, I'll give you a surprise round. But as you bash in the door, a few things become immediately apparent to you. Inside this room, you can see this looks like some sort of torture chamber. There is a wooden torture rack in the middle of this room. Tied to it, you see a familiar-looking individual, a familiar-looking paladin, who looks like he's in the middle of being beaten for information. Hanging from the wall are a number of manacles and fiendish-looking hooks, blades, and clamps. On the far western wall, you see 4 individuals that have been caged in very cramped-looking iron cages. Occupied by, they're all human, they all look very, very dirty, and they have kind of blank-looking gazes. The one in the south in particular looks badly hurt. And these individuals in this earthen garb turn around and look at you with a fright and a surprise. And at the start of the round, Kent, we'll begin with you.
Can I hold a spell?
You can.
Or, like, hold the ability to cast a spell?
You can, but this is a surprise round, so.
Oh, it's a surprise round. Fuck. Okay.
You burst him and they didn't know you were there.
I got you. I'm just trying to figure out what I can do from where I'm at.
You can move and still do part of your surprise.
Let's see. I'm there 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. I'm going to run here and I'm going to cast slow.
All right.
And let's see, up to 6 creatures within a 40-foot cube. So
1, 2, 3. All right. So one of them, the one that seems to be guarding the other 4 in the cages, succeeds. The 2 to the southernmost do not, and they are slowed. As for the last individual, who looks to be the actual torturer, he too is slowed. And he focused the spell.
and Kent yells, "Have at thee!"
Tuck, you're up next.
I'm gonna run up to this guy.
All right. All right. 12 will not connect. The 21 will.
Do we have no? We don't have advantage from this load.
No. It just makes you
Uh,
to AC. All right. 24 will land as well. He reels back both times because he's slowed. It's like, ooh. All right.
Yeah, it's
Dr. Goddard.
You said all these guys over here are in manacles, right? Against the
They're
wall?
all in cramped iron cages.
Okay, gotcha.
They can stay there.
Yeah, for real. For now, I'll
Yeah.
move into the room and put Hunter's Mark on that guy and attack him with my bow.
Okay.
The one off to the left there.
All right.
Sorry, I'm getting it. There we go.
All right. You aim your bow true, and this guy is not especially well armored or geared. Your arrow actually finds the head, and it goes straight through, and he falls back down, arrow piercing through his skull.
All right, what a waste of Hunter's Mark.
All right. I'll let you move it as a free action to a new target.
Oh, okay. I'll put it on the chick that he's beating up.
All right. Probably a better target. All right. Tegan actually got a 12. I didn't add him to correctly the initiative order, but he's going to march in as well, and he is one of the slowed cultists going to fire a thorn whip at him, and he will connect. He connects against this one and pulls it 10 feet in. Will, you're up.
Can I get through the door?
Yes.
Will will go to there and look at this interrogator guy.
All right.
And go, just having to listen to you is torture.
All right. He crits.
Eesh.
He is undeterred by your insults. He has heard 1,000 worse things from those he is tortured. Sebastian is up next.
Well, Sebastian's going to try to go around that guy so he doesn't get an attack of opportunity. And come up here and attack her.
All right. He succeeds. And he is grappled. Ooh.
You ain't going nowhere.
Stop the round. The cultist would go. Did I have a? Okay. The two who are slowed, they'll roll at the end of the turn. Will move up against Tuck and attempt to sling at you with some scimitars.
Nope.
Nope. You're too quick for them. They will repeat those wisdom saves at the end of their turn. And they're still slowed. All right. Kent, you're up.
Oh. Kent is going to take aim at that cultist, and he's going to cast Firebolt.
All right.
Oh,
12 still hits.
okay.
Doesn't kill him, but it still hits, and he's very badly burnt. All right.
I'm not dead, just very badly burned.
All right. So, this torturer is going to swing back around towards Tuck direction, and he is going to attempt to... You know what? He's going to attempt to cast Stone Skin on himself, but in the process, he's going to have to roll d20 because he's slowed. All right. Unfortunately, because it's higher than 11, the spell doesn't take effect until his next turn. But he's going to repeat the wisdom save at the end of his turn to see if he breaks the slow. He does not. All right. Tuck, you're up next.
I'm going to hit him again.
All right.
Oops, that was a miss. I have
All right.
that aim.
18, 28. Both attacks will land.
And one more.
All right. The 12 will not. You manage to break against a hard part of the armor on that strike, and you don't manage to connect that one. He reels back from both of the staff swings, and he looks pretty badly injured at this point.
Yeah, I'm done.
All right. Tegan's going to Thorn Whip the close cultist there again. And this time the thorns will wrap around that creature's neck, that individual's neck, as he's pulled down to the ground, the thorns sinking deep in as he bleeds to death. Dr. Connors.
I'm going to shoot the one marked with my hunter's mark.
All right. That connects. Your arrow finds a weak point within the armor, and he watches he reels back in pain in slow motion. Whoa.
Sebastian also attacks him with the free hand.
Alrighty. Yes, and he is grappled. Still grappled, in fact. Will, you're up next. The remaining humanoids and opponents in this room look like they're almost on the verge of death.
Mr. Torturer, we have a bone to pick with you.
All right.
Get it? Bone, pick.
He fails. He reels his back head in slow motion as he begins to die from that horrific joke. That doesn't even make sense. He collapses to the ground in front of Sir Bradford.
God,
There's
I'm
one
done
left.
chatting and killing someone with vicious mockery. This is just the best session ever.
Sebastian is up next.
Sebastian's gonna attack the one guy left.
All right. All right. The claw goes in, and it's enough. He is taken out.
Nice.
You are out of combat. As you finish out, you hear at least a couple of the humanoids cry out, "He's got the keys on him! Get us out of here, please!"
Do we
And
recognize
so
these
Brad-
people?
You don't recognize the people in the cages at all. You do recognize the paladin in the wooden manacles tied against the hull. He looks pretty badly injured, and he said, he looks up at you and he smiles and he says, "I wondered if you'd be making your way again."
Goddamn, we need a fucking zone of truth. Just like put them all together. Are any of you Eddie Brock? No.
As you
Okay,
mentioned-
let's go.
As you mentioned, this Tegan will instinctively move forward, and he will cast Dispel Magic on top of Sir Bradford.
My GM is casting it on the other NPC. I know that it's not Eddie Brock.
So,
This is getting to be a habit there, friend.
he casts it on Sir Bradford, and you watch. Wait a minute, And Sir Bradford just blinks twice as the spell finishes, and he goes, "Oh boy, you've seen Eddie Brock, have you?"
I'll grab the keys off this person and head over here.
Okay. As you approach,
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
as you approach them, grabbing the keys, you can see the northernmost one. Looks like it's a guard similar to the ones that you saw in the monastery some time ago. It's a woman, and she just looks kind of surprised and ready to get out of here. Just south of her, you see a man dressed in feathery garb, similar to the garb that you saw in the Temple of the Wind. Looks like he's been pretty badly burnt. South of him is a female dwarf. She doesn't look like a guard of any sort of kind. But as you approach, she will point to the one to the north, and she says, "She's with them. Don't free her. Get me out of here. I was captured on the road." And to the south of her, you see a half-elven man dressed in what looks like nobleman's garb, and he looks like he's just on the verge of death. He doesn't even look up at you.
Sir Bradford, can you vouch for any of these guys?
He says, "The two to the south were captured merchants along the road. The other two belong to the other cults."
Well, good to know. I will, as I'm letting them out, I will heal all of them. My healing spirit.
All right.
And so they all have a few more hit points and they don't die.
All right.
I'll go through and I'll have it move through them. I don't know how you want to do hit points or if it even matters, but I don't want them to die.
All right. We'll save some time and say that you heal. It looks like they're much better off. The particularly badly injured individual is much better looking than he was a moment ago, and he looks up at you and he says, "Ugh." He kind of reels back as he sees your snaky face.
Which one does this?
The half-elven individual in noble garb.
Down. Okay.
Far south.
Well, I'm kind of used to it. Fuck that guy. But I'll continue letting the rest of them out.
All right.
Fucking racist bitch. Do any of them after they exit the cage do anything or?
So which ones are you freeing again? One more time.
All four. I just went 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay. You free them as you free them through the two to the north just kind of get up off their feet. They thank you very quickly, and they begin to make their way out of the room. The two to the south thank you, and they say, "Is there any way he can get us out of here safely?"
That's where my giant crab is going to stop them from exiting the room, because I don't know them. They might have earned their cages, so we're gonna do a little bit of talking. Yeah, as long as you answer all of our questions, we can all get out of here safely.
Sir Bradford's still chained to the wall, and he says,
"Oh yeah,
I don't suppose you would mind. You're the one with the key."
Oh shit, I didn't know it was the same key. Yeah, I can let him go.
All right. He grabs his wrist and says, "Thank you." And he will begin to make his way over to the northeast, where sitting off to the corner is a chest. He opens the chest and he pulls a familiar-looking shield with the symbol of Lathander on it, as well as a familiar-looking jagged sword. And he sheaths it. And he looks back at you as the crab is kind of guarding the passageway, the other four kind of looking at you curiously. And he says, "If you run across Sir Brock, then I need to know. Did he recover the orb?"
He did.
Yes, he did.
Embarrassingly, he did.
Then we may be in serious trouble.
You're telling me.
You also might remember, for your benefit, that he expended all the charges of the orb, and it became useless.
Oh, yeah, we'll let him know. He expended all the charges of the orb, and it became useless for a time until he figures out a way to recharge it.
Good. He says, "What did he tell you?"
He said he's gathering the Deathly Hollows. I mean, the 3 artifacts. And he wants to be the master of them.
Well,
He has the deck of many things. I mean, the whatever the artifact is called.
he says, Hand of Fate. He
Hand of
says,
Fate, there you go.
well, I see you've learned a little much. Oh, he says, although the official mission of the Miraba expedition was to take care of a few individual matters within the area, the major reason was to meet an information broker, a woman known only as the Dark Lady, presumably a drow, who lives in an abandoned mansion to the far east, close to the road south of Wamford, just off of it. Originally, we were going to meet up and see if we could bargain, for she carries the original Winds of Fate. If we could secure it, we can secure the use of the deck against misuse. I fear Sir Edward Brock might be trying to steal the original if he cannot have a copy.
I would agree. He'd probably head there. That seems like a rational next step for him. Although he is a pretty irrational guy, I can see him heading there. So you know where she is? Where she lives?
I can lead you to her, yes.
All right, we should probably go there for her protection.
He says, she's not exactly defenseless.
Well, sure, but Eddie Brock is very powerful, and he has an artifact of power as well. So I don't know. He could pose a threat to her.
That might be true. In truth, I am more concerned about the artifact than I am about her safety. Though I almost hate to admit it.
Let's have a little tact here. we can hide behind the fact that we're trying to protect her, and then if it works out that we also protect the artifact, so be it. But anyways, these four fuckers that were out of the cage, why were they pointing at you and telling me that you're not to be trusted here, friends up here that tried to run away immediately, not suspicious at all?
The woman in the earthen garb says, I used to serve with them until I was practically molested by one of the other priests. I struck him, and I got thrown into the cell. I want nothing to do with these individuals.
Molested by a priest? Her story checks out. She's good. How about you?
He's just kind of grasping his sides and just kind of muttering to himself. He doesn't even look up at you.
No, getting molested by priests can be fun sometimes. Oh, did I say that out loud? I'm sorry.
What?
She looks at you with a big scowl.
Gotta have a sense of humor, Will tells her. That's not going away anytime soon.
So this guy's not talking? Boo.
Sorry. No, he's not talking. He's just kind of muttering incoherently. His arms are grasping his sides, and he's looking down. He's not even looking up at you. He's kind of shuffling in place.
Probably suffered, so much. I'm guessing.
He has after-life-changing event disorder, also known as PTSD, but not in this timeline. I've coined it. I am a doctor. That's what I'm calling it. All right. I don't know what to do with him. Anyone have any suggestions?
Yeah, get him out. Get him to safety.
All right.
Let these guys take him with them.
Sir Bradford will say, I have no reason to believe any of them would be of any significant harm.
All right. Well, then let's get. Do you guys think you can navigate your way out by yourself, or are you going to be okay leaving, or do you need our help?
The woman in the earthen garb says, "Oh, I'll be fine." To the south say, "If you can point us out in a good direction, stake man," the noble says, "it would be appreciated."
Dr. Connors will be sufficient, sir, and yeah, of course we can point you out in the right direction. Miss, if you're looking to get revenge for what they've done here to you, you seem like you're full of hatred. You can accompany us. We are the Diamond Bears. You're welcome to come along.
Orna, but I've already heard about some of the things you guys have done, and I think I'm just as likely to get killed working alongside you as I am trying to go out on my own.
We've already defeated 2 of the cult leaders. Look, I'll show her Iron Fang.
I know.
Clearly, we are superior to them.
Oh, and that's exactly why I intend to stay out of your way.
All right. Well, safe travels. You can get outgoing, and I'll give them some directions how to get
All
back.
right. If you let the crab pass, she makes her way out, and the other individual just begins to kind of shuffle his way out too.
Sure.
All right. They make their way out. The other 2 are not quite as eager to do so.
Oh, what are they doing?
Looking at you for guidance, like they don't want to wander out there on their own.
Fine. Guys, are we taking them back with us, or what are we doing?
Where are we going to take them? That's the question.
Sir Bradford will say, if you can escort us to the exit safely, I can escort them safely to town.
Oh, okay.
That'll work.
At any rate, I need to get in touch with any of the other expeditionary members that you may have saved and begin to get in touch with Mirabar in order to plan our next steps.
Sure. All right, well, let's head that way. Hopefully there's no traps waiting for us back near the door.
Okay. Dr. Connors, as you open the door and you make your way back out into this chamber, you look up again at the bats and you watch as a few of them actually begin to flutter down all at once as they're kind of staring at you, and they all begin to land just in front of you. And as they do, you see appearing just in front of you, the bats begin to land, and it looks like they almost begin to coalesce. You see a black sort of energy begin to swarm around them. And as they happen to coalesce, they begin to form into, surprisingly, a familiar-looking silhouette. You see an individual in
Jesus
darkened
Christ.
leathers and slicked back hair.
I'm getting real fucking tired of this guy.
And he looks up and he says, "Oh, hey, Dr. Connors, long time no see." And you look at him and get a good look at him as the bats begin to form and coalesce. And you can't help but notice his eyes are going to have a dim red glow to them. And he looks in and says, "Oh, hey, are you all here? How you doing, guys?"
Oh, wait, who is this?
This is Rorin.
Oh.
Rorin. He was.
Oh shit! I thought you were saying Eddie Brock was for me, and I didn't put it together.
Will removes from sight any magical items he's carrying.
Yeah, holy shit! Back the fuck up. I keep Iron Fang and fire and my bow and my helmet and my boots and all of that shit as far away from his nasty ass compass as I can.
As you begin to instinctively recoil back, you look over in his neck to try to see if you can see this necklace, in fact, and you don't see it.
But when I'm looking at his neck, do I see any bite marks?
Make a perception check.
Sure.
If there's any bite marks, it's hidden by a collar.
Perfect. All right. Well, hey, Rorin. Long time no see. Have you just been, stalking us like a stalker?
Oh, hey. No. So, as I abandoned you guys and, just kind of went off on my own, and because I'm that kind of guy, I got bit by this really weird bat, and apparently I have strange powers now, which is apt because my entire backstory for this character heavily revolved essentially around Batman.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I'm breaking the fifth wall.
Yep, no, that's okay.
Fourth wall. But hey, I got a favor to ask while you're all here. And he kind of looks over at you and Sebastian. He goes, "Hey, Kent, you wouldn't mind if I could take a look at that spell book of your master?"
Kent immediately casts Hold Person.
All right. Let's go ahead and link it.
Oh, I'm going to. Hold on. Hold person. Where the fuck did I put it?
All right. Wisdom save.
God damn it, ties me.
All right. He shakes it off. He says, "Whoa, hey! Let's not be hasty. I just want to take a look at it. That's all."
I don't think you'll be looking at anything of my master's. Or anything of mine. Why do you want to look at it so badly?
He says, "Well, it's like this. I think there might be something I can do to help you optimize, you know? I don't have any sense of what it is I'm talking about, but somehow I think I know what's up and that I'm somehow better than breaking fourth wall, breaking fourth wall, breaking fourth wall."
Nah, that's okay, bro. You can flick your ass on out of here.
He says, "Oh, okay, look, here's the truth. So, the strange bat that bit me and gave me some of these strange powers, well, it turns out it indebted me to some dark lord who's super interested in that book and making sure that you don't have it. So, I'm gonna have to ask and insist that you really give it over."
Can't cast Firebolt using a charge of his staff.
All right, you flick the staff out and fling a firebolt. Go ahead and make an attack. All right. The firebolt lands and he reels back a little bit by this hard, heavy-hitting fire. And you watch as the fire cracks into him, and you watch as necromantic energy begins to sort of envelop around him. And he says, "I guess we're doing it this way. Fine." And he whistles. And you hear flitting above you a lot of bats.
Mm.
And I need everybody to go ahead and roll initiative.
Yay.
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, my headset died and then it wasn't letting me reconnect. I take it we need to roll initiative.
Yes.
This fucking guy.
I got my toe mixed up here. There. All right.
Under the sea. Every time I see your pet roll initiative, that's immediately what comes to mind, by the way.
What's
What
that?
is?
Under the sea.
Oh yeah.
All right. The bats are
No
all
way.
going to fly in and practically swarm right on top of Dr. Connors and Sebastian, with one of them kind of hanging back. So as they all drop on you, beginning to swarm against you, two of them, no, I take it back. All four of them are going to go after you, Dr. Connors.
Yeah,
They're all going
good.
to attempt to bite you. 1, a 2, a 3, and a 4. You bat most of them away. However, one of them does manage to get a hit off on you, and you do feel some sinking teeth into your side.
Did you guys ever see the episode, like the episode of Sesame Street, where the count goes Betty, 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 Bet, 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 like he does the whole song?
No. You're ridiculous.
Oh boy.
All right.
All right.
It's got batted.
This creature, this individual, this nobleman, is actually going to retreat back into his cage a little bit, keeping the door open, but he's going to just kind of hide.
What a
Kent, you're up
bitch.
next.
Oh, can Kent see Roaring?
Not beyond the bats.
Not beyond the bats. Can I see the
Not
edge?
beyond the bats.
Can I see the edge of the bats?
The bats are flitting about everywhere. Yeah, you can see them directly in front of you.
bats with burnt wings don't fly. And he aims a fireball, trying to get out the door, and will protect his friend and his
Okay.
pet.
Somebody give me a good Castlevania music.
He
He wants a song selection that he can put.
I want a song because I don't know Castlevania music
he,
well.
he just starts humming Castlevania.
I just think I'd make a good backdrop. I just can't think of a good one.
Oh, Adam's Family. There you go.
It's not Castlevania.
I know.
I'll find it. Give it time. Okay, so you're doing what now against these bats?
Fireball.
Oh, fireball out the room as far as
Oh,
it can
fireball.
go. Oh yeah.
Okay.
If by the way, if those two people that flagged happen to be in the vicinity, I'm sorry. But
Well, you can't see him, so you'll never know.
I know.
Can't make an omelet without breaking a few eggs.
Yeah.
Link the fireball spell for me.
Sure.
This is gonna be the world's worst omelet.
Okay. It's a point you choose within range. Okay.
Bat
So
snake
I will
omelet.
say, because it's a point you choose within range and you've been in the prior room, if you want to choose a point out here, you can still do so.
Pretty much everything engulfing all those bats and the vampire and my two friends, I will protect. Like
Okay.
the door. I'll tell you what. This bat I can't hit. The lowest bat because I'm
Okay.
it wouldn't make sense. But
Okay.
fireball.
There are two bats that far south.
Yeah, I can't. All right, well, I can't hit either one of them, and I'm sorry about that. But the rest of that room and area is getting hit by bats.
Okay, so
Or
3 of the
fire.
swarms as well as Warren himself.
Yes.
All right. So 3 dex saves. 1 fail, 2 fail, 1 success. All right. So you listen as the sound of dozens upon dozens of bats just clink, 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 hit the ground incinerated, and 2 of the swarms are out of the picture. The third one, you hear a number of the bats essentially incinerated, but there's still otherwise a few of them in that particular swarm. And as for the vampire Rorin himself, he will succeed, taking half damage.
Fucking rogue. All right, I'm going to step back to the here.
All right. All right. At the end of your turn, Rorin's going to spend a legendary action. I'm going to move these out of the way so I can see.
You made him legendary?
He's a vampire. To move right
Well-
up next to you. Tuck, you're up next.
Wait, his legendary action was to move up next to me?
Can I move past the bats, or do I have to?
Wreak havoc through the bats.
Yeah.
You could try to move through the bats, but they're likely going to trigger opportunity attacks if you do so.
Okay. So I'm gonna hit the first bat here.
All right. Swarm of them. All right. You swing your weapon in, you clunk a few of them. All right. The 16 will clunk a few more of them. All right. You get your fist in, and your fist actually connects with a couple of them all in one strike. There's very few bats left in there, but there's still a few.
No, I'm done.
All right. All right. At the end of your turn, Rorin is going to use an unarmed strike against Dr. Connors. And instead of doing the damage, he is going to grapple you.
Okay.
You are now grappled by him. All right. Sebastian is up next.
Do I need to roll a DC, or how does that work?
If you're going to try to escape the grapple, you'll need to do it as an action and roll a strength DC. But for
Oh.
now, you are grappled.
Okay.
You can do it on your turn.
Sure. I mean, I don't need to go anywhere. I'll still hit him.
All right. It is Sebastian's turn.
Oh yeah. Well, Sebastian is about to attack him. Now who's grappled, bitch?
All right. So, your giant claw of your crab reaches against the leg of Rorin, who goes, "You're a new one." All right. Is Sebastian done?
Yeah.
At the end of Sebastian's turn, he's going to burn his last legendary action to make a strike against him.
Against Sebastian?
Yep, against Sebastian. Unfortunately,
Get
he
fucked.
does not land. All right, Dr. Connors, you're up next. You are grappled by Rorin.
Cool. I'm gonna use. Well, hold on. I don't actually want him to touch any of my weapons. So, so I'm gonna do an unarmed strike. I've never done this before, so I have to pull it into my thing. Unarmed strike. Where'd it go? I thought I pulled it in. Okay. What do I need to roll for an unarmed strike? I guess I don't know. Can anyone tell me
Just
what
make
the roll is?
a strength attack, a strength roll.
Okay.
You're not proficient, so you don't have to worry about any of that. Yeah, you don't hit.
All right.
You like flail
but-
your hands.
You know who
You
can
flail your
hit?
hands about as you're trying to kind of hit against him.
This guy. Empty claw probably didn't hit.
Nope, does not hit.
All
He
right.
shifts his leg out of the way as you try to get in.
Let's see. Yeah, that'll do it.
All right. All right, it's his turn next. He looks down at you. He looks down at you, Dr. Connors, and he says, "I could really use a friend here.
I'm
I need you to make a wisdom saving throw."
All right. Ooh, 13. Does it work?
Nope, you are charmed by Rorin.
He's so uncharming, though. He's such a
You naturally don't want to go along with him, and you think that under any other normal circumstances, there's no way you would do anything this asshole asks of you. But there's some greater necromantic energy that seems to be empowering this particular spell, and you're overwhelmed by it. And he says, "Just give me a hand here, would you?" And he lets you go.
Is he a fiend? No, I don't think he is he?
He is
Is he
he's not a fiend.
undead?
Probably,
Yeah. Okay.
but you're charmed by him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you're no longer grappled as he has let you go. All right.
Oh shit. Okay. Well, I already had advantage on the saving throw, but if I hadn't, I would have gotten advantage anyways. Never mind. All right.
You had advantage because he was already hostile against you.
Well,
I think.
yeah. Well, I had advantage because it was magical, but I also had
yeah.
advantage because he's my favorite enemy. But
Oh, yep.
never mind.
All right. So the commoner will retreat into her cage, and she'll try to stay there for the most part. All right, Will, you're up next.
Okay, this is Tyling. Well, before I just put counter charm up in the chat, but does Will even know any of that's going on?
You can't hear beyond the swarm of bats.
So
just a lot of squeaking.
Really, Will doesn't really know much at all as to what's going on.
I mean, you know that a bunch of bats are outside this door attacking me, but I don't think you know that I'm charmed.
Yeah,
all you hear is...
and I have no line of sight, so I can't.
You have
really
no line of sight to
anything.
warn. No.
Do I have any line of sight to the bats?
Yes.
Okay, so maybe I can do something there.
Fucking bats.
Oh, I didn't roll for Sir Bradford. Shit.
I was about to ask you that. I didn't see him in the table.
He'll go after you. After Will.
Okay. In an attempt to calm down what's going on out there, could I cast Hypnotic Pattern in the area outside the door?
Make this spell for me.
Hold on.
"30-foot cube within range, appears for a moment and vanishes." Yeah, you can do that.
We'll do that. Let's see. So 30-foot cube, that's 10, 20, 30. 10, 20, 30. So roughly that. So I guess, yeah, pretty much that.
All right. So the remaining bats. make
And
a wisdom save.
everyone saves with disadvantage.
Okay. The bats fail, and fail as they are stunned.
Dr. Connors
Uh,
makes this.
Dr.
Yeah.
Connors is just, well, I guess it's magical effects, so it breaks normal. You save against it. All right. But all the bats are stunned. As for RORIN,
If he's immune to charming, then I guess it would be straight up no disadvantage.
he is not immune to charm,
Oh.
so he will make a wisdom save. However,
Oh, nice.
he's going to burn one of his legendary resistances to save against it.
Well, at least I got him to do that.
So all the bats kind of just flit there wistfully. They kind of stop their chirping. All right. At the end of your turn, Sir Bradford's going to move up. He's going to take his sword, and he is going to take Shatter Spike and attack some of the bats that are kind of just stood there in the air.
Does that hypnotic pattern give Dr. Connor another save?
Let me check.
Well, wouldn't he have?
It does not.
Yeah, I was going to say.
It's not. It's not considered harmful. It's not considered harmful. It just stuns him. All right. So Sir Bradford taking Shatter Spike is going to slice into some of the bats here, and he is going to cause a good chunk of them to actually fall to the ground. There's not a whole lot of them actually stood there, but it's going to break them out of the stun. All right. Then Tegan, for the follow-through, is going to fire some Eldritch Blasts down the hallway towards some of the bats. You know what? I take that back. I had a better idea. He's going to fire an Ice Knife towards him. Right.
Well, he's definitely going to hit.
So, yep. So the ice will hit the bats nearby, and you watch as the last few of them in one of the swarms actually goes down, and then the cold damage splits out. Dex saving throw. All right. Doc Connors dodges it all. By the way, Sebastian is still under there.
Yeah.
So he'll have to take save.
Yeah, I rolled a 12.
Okay, so he'll take the full 10 points of cold damage. And Tegan will shout out, "Sorry, buddy." And this other swarm is stunned, so they actually automatically fail. They'll go down. All right, so there's one more swarm here, but that's the swarm that's not hit. And Rorin's going to take a hit. Well, he's going to make an attempt against it anyway. This is Dex. All right, he succeeds against it. All right. At the top of the round, the remaining bats are still stunned. He's staying behind. Kent, you're up next.
Kent would like to move to here. And I have no idea how this will play out, but I would like to try something anyway. Oh, this could be bad, guys. I apologize ahead of time, if KILLI even goes with it. Kent says, "You want the book so badly?" and opens the book and attempts to read from it to hurt these creatures in some
Okay.
manner.
As you open the book and attempt to read from it, a blast of necrotic energy shoots out from the book and straight into your face.
Ow.
And as you peer, you don't take any damage, but as you open your eyes, you look around the room, and instead of being within this room, you feel like you're there, but you're not quite there.
Okay.
But as you look around the room as you look around a completely different chamber, you here. In fact, I'll just drag you over there if I can, because this will be fun.
I'm sure it will be for you.
Hang on. Let me just drag it down. Is this it? Give me just a second. Drag this down. Come on. I got too many maps on this damn thing.
Oh, that's okay.
All right. So, fucking hell. There it is. All right. All right. So, the necrotic energy blasts into you, and as you kind of flit about, you're there, but you're not quite there. And as you look around this chamber, you can see against the walls are a number of black inky tentacles that look like they just kind of reach out to you. And you hear a dark whisper. Cantaris. And you hear a rumbling within the central lava, in front of which is what appears to be some sort of altar. And you watch as the silhouette of a large skull begins to rise from it, with red eyes peering back at you.
Lovely.
And before you can get a better look at it, you watch as a few beams of energy from this creature begin to fire back at you, and you feel an unseen presence grab you from the back of from practically the scuff of your neck and thrust you back into the chamber beyond. And the book next to all your companions closes with a start, as a voice in the back of your head says, "Don't be foolish, child."
Okay. So that didn't work out the way I had planned.
That's fucking hilarious.
And as the last of the book begins to kind of fade out, the final blast of necrotic energy bursts out in a wave that almost risks to envelop all of you. I need everybody to make a Constitution saving throw. And that will include RORIN, but he gets advantage against it.
Do I need to make a Constitution saving throw?
Everybody makes a Constitution save.
Okay. Sorry, I gotta get back to my person.
I'm gonna Bardic Inspire.
Is this
everybody.
magical?
You have to do that as a bonus action on your turn.
Yeah.
Is this magical?
This is indeed magical.
Thank God for that.
All right.
There you go.
He's good. The bats are not. They won't be anyway because they're stunned. We'll try them out. Let's see how this goes. Yeah, they're okay. No, they're not. I take that back. All right. Sir Bradford. Didn't mean to do that with advantage, but he's fine. This isn't looking correctly. Hang on. Sorry, I had to reload the browser because things weren't loading in properly.
No problem. After my turn, I gotta go put eye drops on my dog's eye.
Okay. All right. So, Sir Bradford succeeds. The bats succeed. Rorin succeeds.
Kent doesn't.
Tegan's good. Oops.
Well, I know what my next feat will be.
Whoops, wrong ability. He's good.
What will it be?
Advantage on con saves.
He's good. Okay, or he's not good actually. All right. So, who among you got less than a 16?
Me.
Sebastian.
That would be the bard.
All right. The bard, the wizard, and the crab, right?
Yeah.
All
I'm
right.
a nobleman.
And the nobleman. All of you are going to take 13 points of necrotic damage as this wave of energy begins to burst out. You watch as the nobleman collapses against the cage and just dies.
Ouch. 13. Okay. Done.
All
Okay.
right. All right. Kent, did you adjust your hit points already?
Yep.
Okay. All right. At the end of your turn, you can go and do the dry drops if you talk.
Yeah.
You're up.
Yeah. Actually, did Tuck roll?
Yep.
Okay.
I mean, did he roll?
Early, I thought it did. Maybe not.
Nope, he didn't. Make your con save.
I'm sure you'll get it. I'll be right back.
All right.
Hang on, I gotta find my character. What the hell's it going? On save.
All right, you take 13 points of necrotic damage.
That's a fail?
Yep.
I take half, don't I?
Yeah, you do. So you take 6 points. You take 6 points of necrotic damage, dodging the worst of it, or trying to dodge the worst of it, but still getting blasted as a necrotic wave of energy spills out from Kent's master's book.
Yeah. My connection to the server has been interrupted.
What's that?
I have the same error. It just says my connection.
My connection to the server has been interrupted.
Oh. You might have to reload. It was having issues with me just a second ago.
All right, I'm back in.
It's loading. Give me a minute.
Okay. It must have fucked up because it changed maps and then immediately changed back.
No, I don't think it was you. I think it rolled 20s. Got something wrong with it.
There. I'm gonna sneak by. Can I sneak by Sebastian here?
Well, as far as you think.
Can I jump over him?
Okay. Now, here's the question. Sebastian is not charmed, but he is under control
So
of...
I've been looking it up this whole time. Basically, he wasn't going to attack you guys until you hit me with your spells, and now he totally is. So I don't know if he'll attack Tuck, but he's definitely going after the wizard and the druid.
One thing I forgot to add. Go ahead and let me link it again so I double check the DC here. But with the necrotic energy, it didn't hit you, so you dodged it. Never mind.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, that if he would have hit me, yeah. So
He'll be defending you at this point. So, Tuck, as you begin to move up, you see Sebastian kind of turn around and give you an angry glare.
Oh, good. So I jump over him.
All right. Make an acrobatics check.
Yeah, sure.
He's a rather giant crab.
I'm back, by the way.
Alrighty.
There it is.
Yep. All right. You can successfully jump over him. However, Sebastian will make an attack of opportunity against you, I believe, as you
What?
run away.
I was gonna ask you, will he wait until my turn to like give him the orders? Because since I've been charmed, I haven't attacked any of them yet. So he will assist me, but I
Is
don't.
there any?
He's definitely gonna let go of the grapple for sure, so this guy can move around. But is he going to attack? That's my question to you.
Probably not. He's not charmed. I'll say you get by fine because he's not charmed by the vampire. You are.
Sure.
So never mind. You can move there if you want.
Okay, so he's not. I can
Yep.
go here.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm gonna hit the fucking vampire.
You're gonna hit Ron. You're gonna hit Tunic.
Yes.
Let's make that clear.
Let's call him by his real
Absolutely.
name. Don't give him the power.
Let's go. 1, 2, 3.
All right. So every one of those attacks will land.
And I will use 1 key to try stunning strike on him.
Okay.
Constitution.
All right.
Hard fail.
He's going to burn another legendary resistance to succeed. All right.
I'm going to burn another key and try stunning strike again. Constitution save.
All right. He's going to burn his
Fail.
last legendary resistance to succeed. I don't want it to happen.
Can I do this all day? I hit him 3 times, technically. Could I not do this 3 times?
That's
I
what
don't
I'm
know.
looking up right now. Because this is ridiculous. Stunning strike. When you hit another creature with a melee, you can spend 1 key point. The target must succeed. Apparently, yes. You can do it one more time if you want.
If you have
I will
enough
do it one
key
more
and enough
time.
attacks.
Enough key and enough attacks. All right, one more time.
Yeah.
All
Oh,
You get stunned this time.
there you go.
All right. And he is straight up stunned. All right. Sebastian is up next.
Sebastian's definitely going to let go of the grapple.
Yep.
And then he's going to move in here because he doesn't know whether you guys are attacking his master or not. And it seems like you are, and you've already hurt him. If you make any sort of move towards him, he's definitely going to try to attack you. So he's holding his attack on either of you. And if
Okay.
either of you tries to do something mean, he's going to get you.
Dr. Connors, your friend was just stunned surreptitiously by Tuck.
Yeah, that's not going to fly. Tuck, I don't know why the fuck you're attacking my friend here, but you're about to see Iron Fang and fire!
Both attacks will land against Tuck.
I did not mean to. That should be a 12. That's not advantage.
Okay.
Sorry.
It's 18 and 12.
Is
All right,
that,
so Iron
is that
Fang.
doorway open? Can we see what's going
Yes.
on out there and hear it now?
Yes. Yes.
All right. Very good.
So they both fail.
Well,
The
the
18 doesn't hit?
Iron Fang does not. Well, counting the 18. So the Iron Fang does not fail.
Yeah,
But the
And it's
12 on the other one does.
The 12 and the other one does. So
What's your DC? What's your AC?
my
Jesus
armor
Christ.
class is 18. He fails, or does he?
No, he
on a
hits.
tie, the attacker
He
wins.
succeeds. Oh, bastard.
On a tie, the attacker wins. So Iron Fang strikes hard into your side as you feel this pick. This begins to almost rumble your bones a little bit as it catches in. As you watch as Dr. Connors swings this familiar pick into your side.
And now that it is Connor's turn, he will be yelling at Sebastian, keep them from hurting RORIN! And Sebastian will attempt to attack and grapple. We'll say the druid.
All right. We'll count the 18 there, but
Again,
yes.
Yep, there you go.
Sebastian will grab his leg around Taden, who goes, "The fuck?"
That's exactly what he would probably say too.
The fuck? All right.
All right. Sir Bradford, seeing what's going on, is going to move in and taking his shield in front of him. He is going to basically whack you with it.
Okay.
So 18 is going to beat your armor class. We'll count this as an unarmed strike, essentially. You'll take a point of damage and go ahead And
Once I'm
Go ahead and
charmed, I'm
repeat.
charmed, right? Like for a while. I read that spell. It seems pretty airtight that I do not get to repeat my wisdom save after I fail it.
Yep.
Yeah. Only if the vampire or his companions harm me, or if the vampire is killed or leaves this plane, or after
Yep.
24 hours.
And Sir Bradford doesn't know that, so he's going to try to shake you from it,
Okay.
doing point of damage against you, but
Okay.
it doesn't seem to shake you from it.
Just makes me angry.
Will, you're up next.
All right, Will is going to kind of move up and start playing Slow Down, Dr. Connor. You're moving too fast. You can't let yourself get all wound up by this guy. He's going to do the counter charm thing.
All right.
And let me link that. Hold on.
Yep.
Here it is.
All right. So during that time, you and any friendly creatures within 30 feet of you have advantage on saving throws against being frightened or charmed. That being said, it doesn't break the current charm, so Dr. Connor's is still charmed, but it can help prevent future charms.
Would it give him an opportunity to break the charm now?
No.
Would it provoke an opportunity? No, it wouldn't provoke a save.
No. So this is the charm effect. Charm target regards vampire as a trusted friend to be heeded and protected. The only way it breaks is if the vampire or his companions do anything harmful to the target, which allows him to repeat the saving throw. Otherwise, it lasts 24 hours.
Oh, so my counter charm is pretty useless.
I'll let you choose.
Well, it was worth a try. I wouldn't know that it would be useless, so
okay,
it's what I would do.
All right. Tegan is up next. Tegan is going to look down at the crab with a little bit of an irritation, and he says, "Well, you want to play with some animals, huh?"
God damn it.
As he summons two large tigers right up next to the crab.
The crab does one of those hysterical gulps, like.
Like it's a Disney movie.
Yep.
Audio. All right. The tigers rolled an initiative of 4, so they will go. And they are going to just go right on top of Sebastian.
And just knock him out and not kill him, right? Right, guys? Right.
Absolutely not. Take it. Come on.
Catch a
All right.
tiger by
So
the
the
tail.
tigers to bite against him. Crit. All right. And the 14 doesn't connect, but both of these tigers begin to kind of tear into your crab. Bats are still stunned. Kent, you're up next.
All right. 2 questions. 1. Am I engaged with Sebastian while he is grappling Tegan?
Apparently, yes. Because he still has a second claw.
All right. Okay. Well, here's what I would like to do. I have a question. From this spot right there, can I see this spot here?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to move here and provoking attack of opportunity.
All right.
All right, good luck.
Miss.
All
Nope.
right,
I take that back.
You know, he hits.
You have an armor class 12. It does hit.
Oh, you're fucking grappled, bro. Come back here.
How am I grappled if he's grappling Tegan?
Oh, you have to.
Second claw.
I have
There's
2
2 claws.
claws. The crab has 2 claws, each of which can grapple only 1 target.
Oh.
So if he attacks again, he has to let go of one of you, but for the time being, you're both grappling his claws.
Okay. All right. Better.
Roast the crab. Roast the crab.
Better question. Ready?
Yeah.
Can I see to here?
Yep.
Okay.
Misty step.
Yeah, that's right. Now, I would like to misty step out of the dangerous crab's grasp to here.
All right.
Now.
Lick the spell. Lick the spell for me.
Oh, yeah. Hold on. 1 second. I haven't had to link that one in a while.
Pretty sure it just needs line of sight.
I'm sure it does too. Teleport on space. Yep. Okay. So Sebastian's claw grasps onto your leg. You're like, motherfucker. You bamf off to either side, and the claw just claps close. You're
Okay.
broken free of the grapple.
Okay. Now here's my question, and you
Now I
have
have an
to
open claw to hit him with.
you have to tell me if this is allowable or not. I'm pretty sure I would know that he's a vampire at this point.
Pretty clear.
Pretty clear. Okay.
You're familiar enough with that kind of necrotic energy to know enough to know that yes, this is a vampire.
Was
Ron has been turned into a vampire.
It strikes me as very implausible that Rorin wouldn't have been talking or saying some shit when he was stunned.
Sure.
What?
So,
Okay.
would it be fair to say that he's stunned with his mouth wide open?
Yes.
Kent would like to just reach into his bag and pour his holy water down Rorin's throat.
Okay. This will be funny. All right. Let's pull up holy water here.
Sure thing. I might even actually be able to link it. Hold on.
Okay. So.
Nope, I can't.
Since you're pouring it down his throat, here's what I'll say. Make a dexterity check, but make it with advantage because he's stunned.
Okay, sure thing. Just a straight dex check?
Straight up dex check.
Hilarious.
All right. Good enough. You grab the back of his head to kind of throw it up like you're about to just get him to chug this thing, and you drip the holy water down his throat as he begins to chug it, and you hear as he begins to practically choke on this holy water, this vampire. Go ahead and roll 46 radiant.
Okay. Do I
Which
roll
will be
that
double
with
damage.
advantage?
No, but it's going to hit for double because he's a vampire.
Okay, 46?
46 radiant.
I assume that just means 4d6.
Because he's a vampire and it's going into his actual nervous system.
Yep.
Oof. All right, so he takes 16 points of radiant damage as this holy water goes straight down his throat as you're chugging it down.
Okay, and that would be the end of my turn.
All right. Tuck, you're up next.
Gare?
Yeah, I'm just looking. I thought I had holy water too, but I don't.
Hey, you're a monk. You can bless things.
Can I pee down his throat? Would that count?
I mean, you can, but I can't guarantee that'll do any damage.
Okay.
I can't.
I'm gonna hit him.
All right. It will have advantage on that roll.
Sorry.
Okay, we'll count. That'll be the first. We'll do that first. And yeah, there we go. So 26 and 18. All right. So both of those attacks will land. 15 will land as well, as you bludgeon into him hard.
What do I do now? Do I or don't I here?
You do. You absolutely do.
Second strike comes in, and it does land.
And that was for flurry of blows, and
Yep.
I will try and push him back 15 yards, basically slamming him against the wall.
Sure. So
He's stunned, so he can't save, I assume.
automatically fails strength and dex saving throws. He
It's a
has to
strength
make.
save.
All right, so he automatically fails. He gets pushed kind of back into the bats against the wall. But as he does, you can spend a reaction for an attack of opportunity, and Kent can spend a reaction for an attack of opportunity. Kent, you'll just make yours with the staff.
That's okay. If I hit him with the staff, I'm expending a charge.
Okay. So 20 will land, and he'll take that other hit as he gets pushed back. We'll count to 7. 7 doesn't land.
Yeah, sorry about that.
You poke in, it doesn't land. All right. Are you doing anything else for your turn?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay. At the end of your turn, he's no longer stunned, and immediately at the end of your turn, he's going to use a legendary action to move right up back up next to you. Sebastian is up next.
Sebastian is going to hit the tiger that jumped on me earlier. I don't know
All
which
right.
one that was.
That would be the one to the north. And
Alright.
14 will grab him.
All right. Take 7 damage, bitch.
All right. And he's grappled alongside Tegan.
All right.
I don't think I marked his grappled. All right. At the end of Sebastian's turn, Rorin is going to burn another legendary action to make an unarmed strike against Tuck.
Wait.
He's going to grapple Tuck instead of doing the damage to you.
Wait. Did you skip someone?
No, it's a legendary action.
Legendary action.
Okay.
He can do it whenever.
I
You
didn't
can do
know.
it at the end of another creature's turn. Dr. Connors is up next.
Dr. Connors will turn to Tegan and cast Cure Wounds.
Tegan.
Not Tegan. Rorin. God damn it.
Okay. Rorin goes back to you and says, thanks for that.
Oh, man, I was really hoping it would do damage to him since he's an asshole, and it would I don't know. Anyways, yeah, heals him for 16.
You
Cool.
just healed him for 16 points.
And then I'll use fire against Tuck. Oh. Mm.
All right. As Tuck is grappled by Rorin, you take out fire and you stab it right in underneath his ribcage. And Tuck, you feel this fiery energy practically engulf you.
Yay.
Sorry, dog. Yay. Yeah, you do yay.
I'm sorry. Hang on. Cure Wounds is an action, so you can't attack as a second.
that bonus action, right? Offhand?
Oh, yeah, you're right.
There you go.
All right. Okay. At the end of your turn, Rorin is going to take his free claw and attempt to claw into Tuck. Missing.
How did I get charmed by this guy?
What's funny is it wasn't really just him. It was some necrotic energy empowering him. But Rorin will go next. With Tuck grappled, he is going to take his large fangs and attempt to bite into you. 26. So, as you're bitten into Tuck, you take 16 points of damage, 6 of it necrotic, and you feel a bit of your vitality reduced. Your maximum hit points are reduced by 6. And do not go back up until you finish a long rest.
Mm-hmm.
At the top of the round is Sir Bradford. Seeing that the Ranger's not having any luck, he's going to shift over, and you watch as he is going to swing in with Shatter Spike against the vampire. And having hit, he's going to also empower that strike with Divine Energy. For 18 points against him. And then he is going to action surge. He's going to make action surge and make another attack. Second verse, same as the first. 13's not going to land, so no dice on that one. But Rorin does feel this heavenly energy engulf into his side as he cries out. He actually hisses out as it does. And there are these still stunned bats that are just kind of flitting about right around where Sir Bradford is. All right. At the end of his turn, the Rorin is going to burn a legendary action, and he's actually going to burn 2 of his actions to make another bite against Tuck. He will hit you again. You're taking 6 points of necrotic damage. And your maximum, along with 5 piercing, and your maximum hit points reduced by an additional 6. Tuck's looking kind of on the edge. Will, you're up next.
Okay. That being a let's try a little of his own medicine. Will's going to, realizing what's going on, start to play you change the tune on his lute from Counter Charm to something quite opposite. Begin singing to Rorin, Rorin, Rorin. Why you being so boring? Don't you remember we were your friends? Let's be friends again. And gonna cast that.
All right. It has advantage because it's fighting against you.
Well, it's evened out because
Of
I
the
get
weapon.
disadvantage with my loot.
All right. He looks at you and says,
Oh, come on.
I tried earlier, pal. Too late for that.
Well, it was worth a shot.
Tegan, being thoroughly annoyed with his crab, is going to bonus cast Shillelagh and then swing in with the Shillelagh Enchanted Scimitar,
Holy shit.
cleaving
Okay.
the crab down, breaking both him and the tigers free of the grapple. And he says, I'll get you up when you're not such an asshole. And the tigers are just going to kind of swarm around and be ready to pounce when ready. All right. At the top of the round, the bat's still stunned. Kent, you're up.
I'm up, am I? All right. Trying to think of a creative way to do something. Oh. All right. So, seeing as how this guy's a total prick,
Clear.
Kent is going to cast Burning Hands at the highest level he possibly can.
Okay.
Saving my friends, which should be,
Including the doctor.
yeah, including the doctor. It's not his fault, you know.
Okay. All right. We'll say at this angle, it would also hit the bats that are stunned.
If the bats survive this and I rolled that shittily, then they deserve to be unstunned. Alright, hold on. Burning Hands. Cast that level 4.
All right. So that is 27 points of damage. So it's dexterity save.
Yep.
So the bats, because they're stunned, actually immediately fail that, and you incinerate the last of the bats. As for Rorin, he ties, dodging the worst of it, but he's going to take half damage at that.
Wait a minute, does he tie?
DC's 15?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's right. Not yet. It's not going up since then. Okay. Yeah.
Yep. All right. So he takes half damage.
So
Okay.
13.
13. Yep. All right. At the end of your turn, he's going to burn his last legendary action to make one more claw against one more strike against Tuck, and he's going to do the flat damage on that one. But no, he's not, because you are not affected. All right, Tuck, you are grappled.
I am grappled. Can I still hit him, or is
You
he
still hit
like? And I
You just
will
have
hit him.
0 movement.
You just have 0 movement while you're grappled. All right. 17 will land. 22 will land. How do you want to do this?
I'm going to hit him so hard with an uppercut that he's going to flip backwards and land cock and face first on the ground.
All right. As you finish up with that final swing, you punch him so hard he literally does a 360 as he spins around. He lands first on his cock, then on his face as he lands on the ground. And as he drops, he actually transforms into a misty cloud. And as he does, You watch as the cloud begins to kind of shift up and begin to fade away.
Oh, good.
And
Fucking
you're out of
alright.
combat. Or Dr. Connors, you shake your head for a minute and you're like, wait a minute, what's going on?
So is he destroyed?
Make a
Yeah.
history check or a religion check, your
Yeah.
choice.
Well, no, it says I'm under his effects for 24 hours or until the vampire is destroyed. I guess I don't know if I'm still under his effect even though he's knocked out, or is he dead, or I don't know how this works.
You're shaken from the effect, so you're no longer charmed.
Okay,
I will allow you
perfect.
to make either a religion or a history check to see if you can figure out exactly what just happened.
Sure. Well, both of those suck. So religion.
Based on what you know about vampires, normally the charm might still be there. Because it's not, you have to assume that he must have transferred to some other plane of existence.
Oh.
I
well,
I lean over to Tuck and I hand him a steak and I say, next time try one of these.
Technically,
oh shit.
I should have said that. I should have thought about that. I am holding a stick. I should have. Well, I don't know if I could do that.
Do I recall that I was like attacking them?
Tegan will lead down really quickly while this is going on and cast Cure Wounds on Sebastian. And
Oh,
as
okay.
Sebastian begins to stabilize, he looks up and he says, "Don't try it again, or your crab meat."
Oh, that's funny. Who'd have thought that guy would have been as much an asshole and undeaf as he was in life?
And I'm sorry, somebody asked a question earlier and I missed it.
Oh, do I remember that I was attacking them?
You remember him somehow convincing you to protect him.
Okay. Yeah, guys, I'm really sorry about that. I don't know what that was all about. I couldn't not help him.
Sir Bradford says, "You under the charm effects. I tried to shake you out of it, but apparently he was more powerful than I had hoped."
I rubbed my head. Yeah, you shook me real hard.
The dwarf crawls out of the cage and she says, "Is he gone yet?"
Oh, is this guy dead down here?
Very much so.
How? How did he die?
The necrotic energy from
Oh,
Ken's master.
you killed him! Oh no.
And as you look over, he's actually nothing more than a pile of black dust.
Perfect. I forgot he was even over there.
I don't want to be here anymore. If you'd be so kind as to, if nothing else, please kindly get the fuck out of the way so I can be far away from the rest of you as possible.
Yeah, go. Get the fuck out of here.
Later! Get me the fuck out of here! She doesn't enlarge. That was a mistake. Ah!
All right. Cool.
Gary, I'd argued you could have blessed the pool behind you and threw him into the water. Oh, man.
Sir Bradford will say, "I can accompany you for a time, but eventually I do need to update the bar, the folks of the bar, and begin to prepare. And I would encourage us all to be ready to meet with this information worker, try to intercept Dr. Sir Edward Brock before he has a chance to steal the winds of fire."
Wait, didn't he already steal that?
He stole a
What he
copy
did,
that we made.
correct.
Oh, okay.
There was a ritual that required wind vein and a particular orb in order to essentially duplicate the effects for a limited time. That was done using the orb that you had acquired from Dr. Octavius, as well as the wind vein that he kind of convinced you to replicate that process, and then you just found him out before you could get away with it.
Before he leaves us, I mean, if he has to go, he has to go. But
he says, "I can accompany you for a time."
Well, I would just like to fill him in on the knowledge that when he does leave, he should steer clear of guys. What was the name of the town to the south?
No,
Womford.
the dead one. Yeah.
Yeah, Womford.
Yeah, the crater.
Just in case.
As you fill him in with those details, he has sort of a gasped look on his face, and he says, "Well, the town was always a haven for rogues. I never imagined it would go up like that."
Well, while you guys are talking to him, I'm gonna take some water and drink it out of this thing here. The crab is doing a little swim. He hasn't been in water in quite a while, and I'm gonna feed some of these bats to my troglodyte.
All right,
All right,
easily
that's it.
done.
Shall we move on, guys, and just kind of check the other rooms?
Yeah, let's try to forget about everything that just happened.
And
Okay.
and I make note. We as soon as we are able to, I must make my way to the air temple. And I can't give you a good
Okay.
explanation why at the moment.
In the midst of the conversation, while all this is going on, you hear one more message in the back of your head that says, Kent, that says, "He is sending his minions against you in greater variety. Find me when you can to learn the truth."
Okay, I say maybe it's a better idea that we go right away. And I'm going to relay that the attack by RORIN will not be the last, and quite possibly we might have some answers, or I might have some answers if I can get back to the air temple.
All right. That's fine. I'm down with that.
Okay, yeah, I'm down.
Now the question is, how the hell do we get to the air temple?
Well,
I just-
we can solve
I
that
just
next
have one
time.
Yeah, that's
Ah,
fine.
Sorry.
I just have
Out of
one
time,
request.
guys.
When we kill him, and we will kill him, I get to shatter his compass. Dibs.
no, we're gonna keep the compass.
No, how? It destroys things. I hate it.
In the wrong hands.
So, we are going to have everybody go up to level 9
All
All
right.
right.
Great.
with the
Looking forward
successful
to it.
rescue of Sir Bradford and the defeat of the temporary defeat of Roran.
I already know what spell I'm taking for 5th level.
Yeah, same.
I'm taking
Okay.
Geese.
I'll start with Tuck since he'll be the easiest one of them all. Geese, of course, you're taking Geese.
What's keys do?
It basically allows them to give a verbal command to somebody, and they take a large amount of psychic damage if they try to go against the command.
If
And
you
it's-
it-
And then
it-
they're forced to do it until they do it.
you basically get one save with disadvantage, and if not, then and it's a crazy duration. I forget what it was. It was like a year or something like that. I can give you a command to do something or not do something, and if you break it, you take like 10d6 psychic damage.
Okay, so
Ridiculous.
You could ruin people with that.
Pretty-
I can't wait.
pretty ridiculous. All right, so
And it's
things
fire and
first.
forget. It's not even concentration.
Yep, exactly. right.
It's ridiculous. I can't wait to abuse that.
All right, so
He just ignores you. Yeah, well.
well, trying to. All right, so Tuck, you're going up to level 9. Your hit points are going up by a total of 9. I thought you had an amulet that it just increases the hit points to 19. I thought it was 21 for some reason. Okay, your hit points go up by 9, so you're up to 84 now. You'll gain the additional 9 hit points as part of your current. For your reference, you did take those 2 hits, so until you get a long rest, your maximum HP is reduced by 12. I've marked it down, just keeping that in mind going forward.
Yeah.
Let me copy paste your key goes up by 1. We'll give you that now, and you'll get that additional key point automatically. And we get the unarmored movement bonus, which I will add in as soon as I can find where that goes.
You already put my proficiency up, right?
Proficiency automatically goes up as we move that to level 9.
Okay.
And whoops. There we go. All right, the proficiency should automatically adjust all your shit, so you'll notice everything's at a +9 now, and the staff is at a +10. All right. All right, so you're good to go. Let's move. Let's do Kent next.
Okay, I actually have, I think I know the 2 spells I want, but I need to ask you about one real fast.
Okay, let me
mhm.
adjust your core shit first.
Mhm.
Level 9. Your hit points, 6 plus your con. Nope, 4 plus your con modifier. So you gain 6 hit points, going up to 58. All right. And
Okay.
what are your spells?
Okay, so the one I want to have prepared and like be able to wiggle it would be animate objects.
Animate objects, good choice.
I agree.
Yeah, that's a fun spell too. That was my plan B.
All right.
The other one that I have a question about, and I may change this if you don't like this, Rary's telepathic bond. Now I have a question regarding this. And what this does is it sets up telepathy between the entire party.
Yep.
And I can use that to communicate with those party members.
Yep.
And it can be cast as a ritual too.
Yep.
What are your ground rules for the telepathy?
If you ever watched Young Justice, where Magan communicates with the rest of her team and they don't say a word, but they all hear one another through their minds, that's basically how that works.
What are your rules for in the middle of combat using telepathy?
I mean, it's not a concentration. Once you have it up, it's set there for an hour.
Oh.
If you want to communicate with people, communication in combat's always been a free action. So it's just other people can hear you when you say something. So if you want to keep it telepathic, you can keep it telepathic so long as the effect is still up.
Well, the reason I question that is if I don't have to say something out loud, can I only communicate with my party when it's my turn? Or can
No,
they
you can communicate as a free action. I let you talk amongst yourselves as free action shit.
Okay, well, I only say that because that could kind of be game breaking, and I don't want to do that if you have a problem with it.
I might set some boundaries if you spend too much time kind of communicating between one another, but otherwise, I'm not too worried about it.
That's fine, because like if I attack something with something, and I telepathically say to somebody, "Don't attack that until," you know.
Yep. Yeah, you can do that telepathically. I'll allow that sort of shit.
Okay, then that is the second spell that I will learn.
All right.
My Song of Rest goes up to D8.
Cool. Yes, it does.
I get to swap a spell too.
You can if you wish. So,
yeah, I got to think about that.
You already set yourself to 9. You didn't increase your hit points already, did you?
No, not yet. I don't know. What do I get? 6?
I'm double checking.
D8 plus 1.
It's 5 at the base. I mean, if you really want to roll D8, you can. But
no. I've been taking whatever the standard.
It's 5 plus your con modifier, so yeah, plus 6.
You go 6, so I'm at 57.
And your current hit points go up to 44. Your Song of Rest does indeed go up to a D8. And that's already in the description there. All right,
you just get to pick a spell. Are the spells. I can enter the spells when I figure out what the hell I want to do.
All right.
I'm not going to deal with that now, though. Hold on. Right. Cantrips known. Does that go up? Nope. No, I don't get
cantrips don't go until next 10th.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm heading to bed.
Yeah, I'm going to bed. I'm tired. Hey, KILLI, thank you so much. This is awesome.
Cool. Thank you. All right.
See you guys.
Later.
Thanks, KILLI. I also sent you 200 fish oil, 200 red the loges, and 20 midnight salmon.
Cool. I got a good chunk of feasts. I think I got a full stack from. I don't remember who I got a full stack from, but anyway, I got a good chunk of feasts that we can sit on now. That being said, I'm still trying to save those for progression shit.
Yeah.
Hey, hey, Pant, are you still here?
I think he logged.
Yeah, he logged.
Oh, okay.
All right. So, Miles, you didn't increase your hit points yet, did you?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
You did? Tell me.
Max should be 69.
Okay.
Giggity. I was at 61, and then
So-
I just got +6, and then my
6
con
plus con.
is
Yep.
+2. Yep.
Yep. All
Yep.
right. So you get access to your 3rd level spells. You
Yep,
already
I
added that
did.
shit in.
Yep, I already did.
All right.
I took Conjure Animals, and then I subbed out Spike Growth for Conjure Barrage.
All right. And you are good to go then.
I'm fixing Sebastian now because of my proficiency increase, and
Yep.
then should be done.
Hey, Killy.
Yep.
At 9, do I get another cantrip?
Oops.
I have to double check that.
As features, I think it's 10, but let me check.
It might be 10. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you guys. I'm just
Yeah, it's 10. It's 10.
okay. Sorry about that.
It's all right. He goes up to 9. I'm giving Tegan reincarnate because I think that'll be silly if one of you dies. And if he wants to change it later, he can. Official. Five plus con, he goes up by 7. All right. And then until he decides he wants to change that, he is good to go. All right.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Oh, all right. Okay.
By the way, I like the reintroduction of Roaring as being a vampire that sucks the life out of a game.
Blood-sucking vampire. Holy shit.
A vampire. Reintroduction of a character that we all hate.